Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as the children say in the streets, what it do, baby? It is your boy Pride, here always happy to be here on this beautiful Monday morning. You guys might think I'm a little too ecstatic. We will see why in a few minutes here. I thrive off sadness, and someone here is down bad right now. But before we get into that, introduce you to the panel we have today. We got Trey, who I love the shirt, by the way. Can you show the people the shirt real quick?
Hey, y'all know what it is. West Coast, the West Coast, USC Trojan. Let's get it.
Yeah, I love the shirt. Greg, how are you doing, my guy? How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good, bro.
I'm glad. And Jason, how are you doing on this fine, beautiful Monday morning?
Man, I was doing really well until I started feeling Bishop's sadness. And now it just kind of threw my whole day off because the sadness is just reeking so bad, it's bringing me down.
So if I'm not sad, and Trey not sad, Greg is good, and Jason, you all right. There's one more gentleman on this panel who might be the genesis of this sadness. It's that boy Lincoln Riley. Sorry, Bishop. My bad. I mean it. It's that guy Bishop. How you doing today, my guy?
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, man. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing only, man. This is not a good day in the nation of Oklahoma. Not a good day in the nation of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I am very, 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 very upset about how this weekend has been just horrible for me.
Yes, sir.
It's been horrible. I almost just want to take this and just snatch it down because of the fact, because of what we got going on right now. This is ridiculous. I am so upset. Man, it don't make no sense, man. I hear what Jason said. I hate to hear that you feel sad because of me, but hey, it is what it is, man. It's Monday. Nobody likes Monday. So, of course, all these things that's happened this week just made it even worse this weekend. I meant to say this weekend. My fault. Not this week, past week, but this weekend. It all started on damn Saturday, and it just trickled over all the way until Monday. So other than that,
oh man,
he said he was so thankful on Thanksgiving, but so regretful on Monday.
That's really
what Jason said. Like. What Jason said.
That's what it sounds like. And let's talk about that weekend that Bishop you were so miserable in. So in terms of the NFL, we went over the Thanksgiving games. Obviously, Bears beat the Lions, Raiders beat the Cowboys, and Bills beat the Saints. But the Sunday game, Bengals stomped the Steelers, Dolphins beat the Panthers. The Giants beat the Eagles. God damn.
You just all over it today, huh, Pride? Okay.
Oh, listen, man. No, and I'm gonna tell you why. See, the next game right here is why I'm sloppy. We handled the Titans. I don't care. I don't care what the score was. We handled the Titans 36-13. So I'm sloppy today. So don't play with your boy today.
Now my day is really ruined.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm glad I could contribute to it.
And you know you only see Freddie because the Lakers won last night. So come on, man. God, why are you punishing me, Lord? Lord, what did I do? Why are you punishing me today?
The Falcons.
The sports gods have spoken.
The Falcons have beat the Jags. Buccaneers beat the Colts in a nail biter. That was a phenomenal game. I watched that one. The Jets beat the Texans in a game I forgot even happened. The Broncos surprisingly beat the Chargers, Niners over Vikings. The Packers beat the Rams, even though it was 36-28. If you watch the game, it did not feel that way. It almost felt like the Rams was down by like 4+ touchdowns at one point. It was wild. And the Ravens beat the Browns in what was arguably the third worst game this year. And I don't even think that's a debate. I think this was the third worst year. I think the first worst game was the Jags and Bills. I think the second worst game was Lions and oh my God. There we go. The second worst game was Lions and Pittsburgh that ended up tying, and then this one. So, matter of fact, this is going to be the Bishop episode. That's what we're going to call it. Bishop, talk to me, my guy. Down with Philly. What happened?
Man, so I'm gonna be completely honest, man. Jalen Hurts ain't it. Jalen Hurts is not it, man.
What?
Jalen Hurts is not it.
Stop it.
I know y'all are not expecting that, so I had to come on here with a dagger on this Monday morning. Jalen Hurts is not it. He's not it. 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, bro. There is no excuse against the garbage Giants. Come on, the D-O Giants, doo-doo Giants. We scored 7 points. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the game, we could have won it because Jalen Rigger dropped two passes that should have been caught. Two. Clearly, that should have been caught without question. So, I you know what? I shouldn't say it's all Jalen's fault, but I have to blame him for the first 3 quarters because those first 3 quarters, he couldn't. Oh, there go Coach Dante. First 3 quarters, he could not put points on the board, and that's horrible. He was 14 for 31, 129 yards, 0 touchdown. Do y'all hear me? 0 touchdown. Where do you do that at? We look like the damn Dallas Cowboys, but worse. Come on. And 3 interceptions? Bruh, we rushed the ball for almost over 100 yards. We did do that. We got over 100 yards rushing without question. Easy. Got that. But what is the problem with Jalen Hurts and being able to get the balls to these receivers? It's a problem. 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 We lost to the doo-doo Giants. The doo-doo Giants?
So just like you said, he was 14 to 31 for 129. Out of them 17 passes, were all those instances where he couldn't get the ball to the receiver, or was your receivers dropping them? So that's what it comes back to. What we always talk about. Like when I caught the last couple of minutes of the game, it was Jalen Rigger. Like what have you done for me lately? In my opinion, was the ideal of that game, and Jalen Rigger had an opportunity to do something for Jalen Hurts to win the game, and he wasn't there. Not once. He got bailed out on one, but the second one was dead to rights. He should have had that, at least put him on, if not the touchdown, put him on the 1 or 2 yard line with an opportunity for them to go ahead. Like Jalen Hurts seems to try to do what he can. If you look at, I mean, we're talking fantasy, but he's the top rated quarterback in fantasy. So I mean, he's doing something. And I mean, it's not my team, but he's doing something.
Trey, I get you what you're saying with that, but Trey, I'm talking about the mistakes he made prior to that. Again, okay. I can't fault him for the 4th quarter because he did what he did. Jalen Rigger dropped two passes clearly. But at the beginning of the first half, the end of the first half, when he threw that interception, throw the ball away, Jalen. Throw the ball away. Or at least put 3 points. Allow your offense to put up at least 3 points. Don't just sit there and throw a bad ball and let it get picked off. Come on, be smart about it. You're not doing any better than what Carson Wentz was doing when he was there. Like, seriously, stop it.
Freddie, before I let you go, because you are the Giants fan. I found that out yesterday. I didn't know that. You are the Giants fan, so I'm gonna let you have your moment. But I will say 2 things. I think it was the day before yesterday. I was on a podcast with Coach, and one of the keys for the Giants to win was to make the Eagles play down to their level, and that's what the Eagles did. The Eagles gave the Giants every single opportunity, and just like this comment right here, he said. He was throwing the double coverage. That is kind of where I understand what you're talking about, that he was playing like Carson Wentz, because especially going into the second quarter, he started flinging balls to the point where, like, if he scrambled or even checked down, that's an automatic first down. But instead of looking there, he would fling it deep. And your receivers are dropping the ball at some point. And I understand the whole thing. You got to have faith in your guys. But at some point.
It's the reason he's throwing the double coverage. He don't trust everybody.
Right, but at the same time, there comes a point where you got to say, all right, look, you guys are fumbling bad, bro. Like, I'm delivering perfect. And there was a couple passes to Jalen Reagor that was on the dime perfect that you can't get any better. And Jalen Reagor's letting it bounce off his helmet, bounce off his hand. I think Goddard had a couple drops too. And it's like, at some point, if you're Jalen Hurts, you can't put all that trust if they're not doing it for you. Like Bishop said, I think it was you, Trey. What have you done for me lately? Oh, you've been dropping lately? So I ain't going to give you touches. We're going to be a run for
7 touches, 7 targets, and he only caught 2.
Right. And again, I'm going to say this right now. I am not going to sit here and say that was Jalen Hurts not giving him the ball. Jalen Hurts, in terms of delivering the ball, he delivered the ball. Now, them fumbled, like them dropping it for no reason, I don't know. I feel bad for the kid. I think Bishop, I think it's too early to give up on him. If I were you, I'd be more willing to give up on Jalen Reagor than I am on Jalen Hurts.
True.
But that's just me. But before anyone else goes,
the resident fan.
Apparently, Trey, the resident fan had to make an appearance. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I just want to throw it out there. If the Giants lose, Freddie's MIA. I just want to throw that out there. But Freddie,
thank you.
The floor is yours.
Thank you.
The Giants lose. You never hear Freddie talk about that. The fact that the Giants lose, I never even seen Freddie get emotional.
No, he did.
Yeah.
He did. And
He's on record. He's on record stating that they're trash and this, that, the third.
Yeah,
we know he was rocking with.
He'll go
we
against
know
his
he
own
rocks
team.
with.
Oh, don't you put that hat on, Freddie? Don't.
Hey, real quick, Rod. I want the whole panel's opinion on this. If you had a good weekend in sports, dance with me.
Hey. Bishop, where you at, fam?
Bishop.
I just know that this weekend was really good for me. My Giants. We've heard the win for the Giants came out Saturday or Friday. Believe it or not, it wasn't even have to do that with the win. It was more that we had breaking news that Dave Gettleman is not expected to come back next year. That we were supposed to be parting ways with Dave Gettleman. That, me as a Giants fan, made me so happy. Yep. But Bishop, Bishop, but you seen that defense out there yesterday? That defense shut your Hurts down now, didn't he?
Say it with your chest, Freddie. Bishop. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
Hey, Bishop. I know you were just hoping that he come on this show.
Trey instigating like a bug right now.
No.
Hey, Bishop said, you know what? I have a little bit of hope. I don't see Freddie here. I can take on these other guys. But now that I'm here, man, I'm not going to say too much. I just want to dance, and you just pass it along to somebody.
Stop it, Mr. CEO. That ain't doing nothing. Stop it.
Oh, my Lord. Matter of fact, Freddie, you do pose an excellent question.
Coach, where you at, man? Help me out, bro.
I didn't get a chance to speak. I couldn't speak.
No, I know. We still talking about this.
But guess what? That doesn't negate just because the Eagles lost and my Texans lost. Hey, my Rockets won on the 2-game winning streak. So hey, that clarified my week.
Somebody got some upside for them.
Coach Johnson, did you get a dance in just a minute ago?
Huh?
Did you dance just a minute ago?
Hit him again, Freddie. Hit him again with it.
I didn't see some shoulder move or something. There you go.
Hey, all right. Hold on, let me speak my piece right
Bishop
here, man.
and Jay McLovin, I didn't see y'all.
Matter of fact, hold on, Coach.
I dance in my head. I dance white boy ugly, man. You don't want to see that mess. I stand in my head.
Coach, let me ask you a question because Freddie did bring up an interesting point. I want to see how you feel about it. Do you genuinely believe it was a Giants defense? Because I'll be honest, I don't think it was a Giants defense. I just think
I don't think so either. Matter of fact, I know it was a Giants defense. For some unknown
reason, they just woke up and just decided we gonna turn back the hands of time and pretend I can't remember the name of the wide receivers, the ones that Donovan McNabb had. Arguably two of the worst. Bishop, you know who I'm talking about. It was like when Donovan McNabb literally was like carrying the team solo dolo and he had 2 dog shit receivers. It's almost like they decided to do that. So let me ask you, Coach, do you think it was just the butter on their hands, or do you think it really was that this Giants defense kind of held them down?
Well, like I say, man, I'm not gonna take no credit away from the New York Giants. They came out there and played the way they played. It's not they capitalized off every mistake that we made, that we threw against them. So I can't really take no credit and say that wasn't them. But at the same time, the Eagles did hurt themselves. Jalen Hurts did not look great in the game. I don't care. I mean, the receivers were dropping the ball, but it's no excuses for you to be throwing in double coverage. I can't make that excuse for them. When you by the goal line, what does a coach tell you? When you by the goal line, you have 8 seconds left. If the play is not there, you don't throw the ball into double coverage. You don't take a sack. You throw it out of bounds. And Jalen Hurts forced it in the end zone over 3 people. That's not the receivers. That's on the quarterback. Yes, Jalen Reagor dropped 2 passes, and he should not have dropped that ball at the end. He should not have dropped that ball at the end. He should have caught that. He had multiple opportunities. I'm off Jalen Reagor. No more excuse for Jalen Reagor. He needs to be benched for what he done.
I agree, Raider.
The second, when we was backed up at about the 5-yard line, that's on Jalen Hurts. You can't throw the ball in double coverage while they're in a zone defense and you have a safety over the top. That's on Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts is holding this 80% blame for me right here, the way he played against the New York Giants. I mean, nobody showed up on the offensive side. The defense gave us opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to make this offense get back in the game. So it's no excuses. I will not blame this game on the defense. I give credit to the Giants. They made plays when they needed to. This offense just stunk yesterday, and it's just basically no excuses for not showing up. And I'll say they're a division rivalry. So I mean, they're gonna come out and play, and the Eagles definitely, and we talked about it all weekend. The Eagles definitely always play down below level to the division opponents. So that's no excuses. But again, most of it, and Boston Scott fumbled the ball at a bad time, but the Eagles did get the ball right back.
Yeah, I was about to say they got it right back. So that fumble kind of negated.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it. He did fumble the ball in a bad situation, but the Eagles had a minute and 40 left when they did get the ball right back, or 13 left. That's still a lot of time, and they still got down to the end zone. And Jalen Reagor did not make the play when it was needed. So I got to give credit to the Giants, but the Eagles stunk, man. The Eagles offense stunk, and like I say, they just didn't show up. They just didn't wake up out of bed that afternoon.
So did they really stink? They had over 200 yards rushing. That's not the regular.
They just had 200 yards rushing, but we only got 7 points. Only got 7 points.
Yeah. So, Greg, let me ask you this question, because the final score was little to even less. Like it was 13-7. Were you surprised that the score was this low?
Yes, I thought that the Eagles were going to get at least in the 20s. I didn't think they were going to get held to no 7. The Giants' defense is decent, but it's not that good. So I do agree with Coach. Jalen Hurts deserves about 80% of this, blame, because when you're the starter, you have to make.
Greg, I got to ask you a question. Greg. Wait,
yes.
time out. Did you say the Giants' defense isn't that good?
It's decent. It's not all that. It's decent.
I do recall, do we all consider the Kansas City Chiefs have a 3-headed monster with Mahomes, Hills, and whatever Kelsey.
Yeah.
Didn't we hold y'all to 20 points? I'm just asking.
That was because of turnovers, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just asked.
You did, yeah. It was 20.
I mean, but Freddie, hold on.
It would have been 34.
Hold on, Freddie. He's not saying your defense is trash.
No, it's not trash. No.
He's saying you guys are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. Your defense is technically a middle of the pack defense. Yeah, defense
is better than that to keep them to 20 points. I'm just saying.
You said what now?
Mm-hmm.
We must be better than what he's saying, because we kept the Chiefs to 20 points.
They're not. Well, that was when the offense was struggling at that point too. So we got to put that in account too. If that's the case, Dallas defense is better than the Giants. They held us at 19. So what is that? That doesn't mean. But anyway, so y'all got Daniel Jones. That's why y'all can't never win anything. But anyway, so.
Wow.
Yeah, the old Pat Mahomes finally met his daddy in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady. I mean, my bad.
Okay. All right. We got him this year. Don't worry about it. But
You want to put a wager on that?
oh, what we doing? We doing Mountain Dew like Skip and Shannon. But yeah, I mean the Eagles, that was their chance to get in a wild card hunt, get back in the divisional race as well, to maybe have an outside chance of catching Dallas. But now with this loss, their playoff hopes are almost zero. It's not zero, but it's almost.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be way more. The fact that it was this slow, not even a full touchdown difference, like that kind of straight up blew my mind. Jason, let me ask you this: with this loss, because supposedly the Eagles, their playoff hopes, they had before this week, there was something there. There was at least some potential. With this loss, does this kind of just are they basically now just in the same boat as the Lions where like they have no shot whatsoever?
Oh, hold on, Pride. What you will not do, you will not put us in the boat with the Lions, bro. That's what you will not do. That's what you will not do. The Lions are winless. The Lions are winless. You will not put us in the boat with the Lions.
You know what? All right. Listen, Bishop, I was trying to be a good guy. I was trying to be a good guy. I really was, bro. I really was. Look here, man. Holla at me when your boy don't be throwing picks like crazy, bro. I didn't know who was out there, bro. I thought Blake Bortles made a comeback. Don't play with me, man. Don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me. This your best ever had Gardner Minshew. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Yep.
No, listen. You don't compare me.
I like Jalen Hurts.
Jason, don't listen to Pride. Answer the question. Don't listen to Pride.
Hey, listen. You don't have to compare anybody to know that the Eagles are done. You don't have to. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's go back for a minute. If we can, we can take a little time travel back to Alabama. When Jalen Hurts was with Alabama and the national championship was on the line and they were getting their asses kicked. What did Nick Saban do to turn that game around? He benched him, put him on the pine, doing Tua, and won a championship. So then, let's fast forward a little bit. Then you ship him out to Oklahoma. And what did he do in Oklahoma? Yeah, he did well. I mean, he did decent, but did they win their championship? Did they go anywhere? No. So then let's fast forward now. Now he's with the Eagles. The problem with Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts has what you can. There are certain things you can teach a person and make them better, and there are certain things you can't. For example, I can teach a quarterback technique. I can teach a quarterback how to read a defense. But the one thing I cannot teach that man is how to have good judgment. You can't do it. You either have it or you don't. Jalen Hurts.
Hold on. Before this,
Jalen Hurts is always going to be a bust. No, he's going to be a bust because he has bad decision making. He has poor judgment, and that is always going to cost your team. And those are things you can't teach somebody. There are intangibles that you either have or you don't have, and he don't have. Yeah, he has great athleticism. He can run all over, but he don't have what it takes to be a championship caliber quarterback. He don't have it. I don't care how long you. And he saw it at Bama. You saw it at OU, and now you see it in the NFL. If it didn't translate in the college game, how the hell are you going to translate in the NFL?
So what this sounds like? It sounds like a bunch of.
Before you go,
go ahead.
Before you go, I know I just bashed Jalen Hurts. I just did it to piss off Bishop. I'm a fan of his, right? It's very interesting to me. The kid has one bad game, and all of a sudden he can't make decisions.
It sounds like chickens are coming home to roost to me, because that we think about this. Bro. Think about this, right? A couple of weeks ago, it was all about Stefanski and saying and what he and his horrible play calling. Yeah. Right. So now it's Jalen doesn't have the good decision making, and so I'm just wondering. I'm starting to be. What is it? I'll leave it to our resident Eagle fans.
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. I get it. Jalen Hurts. I'm not gonna say. You know what Jason said is absolutely right. I cannot agree with him more. What he said is absolutely right. So one week it is Stefanski. It's him making bad decisions, bad calls. And then the following week, then it's Jalen making bad decisions, poor judgment. It's both of them at the same time. Both of them are making bad decisions and not doing the things that they're getting paid to do correctly. Like Jason said, it is a trend for Jalen Hurts. He makes bad decisions. He got pulled in Alabama. He goes to Oklahoma. We can't get a national championship in Oklahoma. He was a runner-up for the Heisman, though. However,
no. Yeah, you see, y'all want to omit that. Talk about he had no success. Meanwhile, he almost won the Heisman.
No,
and a lot of people argue he should have won.
Hey, listen, Aaron, there's a lot of people out there that won the Heisman. Manziel, Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. Where's he at? Where's he at? I think he's at the shopping mart. I think he's bagging groceries.
Doesn't mean you're
Hey, I want to put my
Hey, Johnny Manziel's biggest decision is he want paper or plastic.
That's a lazy
Hey,
cop
Pride.
out. That's a lazy cop out.
Hey, Pride, I want to put my 2 cents in. I just want to say 2 things on BS.
Go ahead, Freddie.
You know, everybody want to trash my Giants, you know, because they say, well, you don't know who
Because they're horrible.
is because of Daniel Jones and all this. Well, it look like the Eagles just as dysfunctional as we are. And then 2, Jay McLovin, can you say Alabama one more time? I just think that's funny. You muted, my brother.
You muted, Jason.
Oh, somebody muted me. I said Alabama. He went to Alabama.
Stop it, Co. No, we will not. No, we will not. No,
Hey,
we
look,
will not.
here's the deal. I don't care how good your team is. If your number one guy, if your general doesn't have good decision making, you ain't going nowhere, guy. You might as well just sell out the pieces, burn the shed, and start from scratch.
Agree, Spotlight. You can be a Heisman winner, just like Jason said. Where is Johnny Manziel right now? He's somewhere bagging groceries somewhere.
No. See, now you're switching it.
He probably directing
y'all saying it didn't
traffic
translate
and stuff
anywhere.
like that.
No, all I'm saying, y'all saying it didn't translate anywhere.
Are y'all saying Johnny Manziel wasn't a good player when he won the Heisman?
He wasn't a good player.
Who did he beat out? Who did he beat out?
Because they just said on the college level it didn't translate.
Who said
How
that?
is it not translating on the college level when you are in the contention to win the Heisman and a lot of people genuinely believe that he was robbed of it? So how is it not translating on the college level? That's my only question. That's my only question, Bishop.
I got you, but I'm trying to answer it. Listen to me. So can we not say that college and NFL is night and day? Night and day.
Okay.
Again, you're now switching it. Y'all said it didn't translate on the college level. I'm saying on the college level.
No, I said it didn't translate from the college level to the NFL.
MVP.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
so you can't say it didn't translate on the college level.
It didn't translate to a championship, did it? Did it translate to a championship?
Let's
be honest. If Nick Saban had ran, if Nick Saban had stayed on that train, they wouldn't have gotten that championship.
When you say that, that's ridiculous.
They wouldn't have got it. We were losing
Did
bad.
Justin Fields win the championship? No. Is he trash? No. So stop trying to say that there's this thing.
We're not saying Jalen Hurts is trash. Hold on. We're not saying Jalen Hurts is trash. We're not saying Jalen Hurts is trash. What we're saying,
I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts has bad judgment. And if you have bad judgment, you can't go anywhere.
But we
straight up
say is, but what we did say is Johnny Manziel is trash. That's what we was comparing it to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm saying that just because you get the Heisman don't mean anything. It means
I got your argument.
Tom Brady didn't win the Heisman. Tom Brady won the 6th round and then got 7 damn rings.
Again,
that Heisman don't mean
all I know
nothing.
is this. They're switching it. They say it didn't translate to the college level. You give them evidence it translated on the college level. Now all of a sudden the college and NFL is night and day.
Right, we didn't say that. I said it.
The college and the NFL is night and day, guys. The college and the NFL is night. They don't even run the same type of offense.
You can't sit there and say it didn't translate if he's in the running for their MVP. The Heisman is their MVP. And
let me tell you something. Let me say one thing. I'm gonna make one point. You know the college and NFL don't translate. When Nick Saban, the best college coach and all the college leaders, goes to the NFL and flops.
Make your mind up. Make your mind up.
No, Nick Saban goes to the NFL and flops. You know why he flopped? Because what he did in college didn't translate to the NFL, and so he got relegated back to college football.
But again, you cannot sit there and say, "Oh yeah, because Nick Saban couldn't hack it in the NFL, it does not translate to the college." No,
you just
said Jalen Hurts' game did not translate into the college. That's what you said.
I'm saying Jalen Hurts has bad judgment, and it doesn't help him. And you can't teach good judgment.
We'll have this conversation when you can remember what you say. I'll leave like that.
I can remember what I said right now. It's got bad judgment.
I'm gonna leave it at this. Do y'all know how long Jalen Hurts has been in the league for?
3 years,
Hasn't
2
been
years,
long.
3, ain't it?
3.
This is third
man,
season.
Second year, second.
This is the second year.
Bishop, you should know that right off the bat.
Yeah, it's a
So
second.
all I'm
Yeah.
second.
saying,
This
for
is
us
second.
to
This
have
is
these
second.
astronomical expectations, we don't even have this. Let's be honest. We don't even have these expectations of a guy like Daniel Jones, who is going to enter his final year, and the Giants still don't know that he's their franchise quarterback. We don't even have the only two guys in terms of being young on their rookie contract who have these absurd, ridiculous type of standards is Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts, where they have to go out and be perfect every single game. They have to.
No, you just gotta not throw 3 interceptions in a double cover.
They have to go out and have to win every single game. And if they mess,
You know why,
if they have one game where they mess up,
Brian,
instead
you know
of
why?
criticizing and saying, you know what, he messed up here and here. This is
You know
where
why,
he can
Brian?
work. This is where he needs to work on. Instead of doing that, Bishop, you jumping ship talking about he not the answer. Like this is a second year dude who
Listen,
shows you.
you know
glimpse.
why?
If you give him time, he'll be fine.
You know why? Let me tell you
Go
why.
ahead, Bishop.
Why everybody got so many expectations of Jalen Hurts because of what we just spoke about a second ago. He was a Heisman candidate. Being that you are a Heisman candidate, that means you was considered one of the best in the NCAA of college football. With that being said, there are expectations for you to come into the NFL and produce as though you were a Heisman player. So with that being said, coming into the NFL, you should be doing better than what you're doing currently. That's why it's so high and why so many people are on Jalen Hurts the way they are.
Okay, so here's my thing. So I'm gonna give you. And by the way, just because you say just because you're not remembered in college doesn't mean you're trash. I just want to throw that out. Like,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead, Coach.
Jalen Hurts was not expected to be good in the NFL. He's a second round pick. He's not a first round pick, so you're not expected to come out and be great right then and there. He was picked to be a Heisman winner, but again, that was less. He's picked to be less expectations because he's picked in the second round. So it's not like they expected him to come out and perform right then and now. I mean, like I say, I think it takes more time. It takes more time for a person to blossom. I mean, he was a second round pick. So he's gonna come out to the NFL. He's gonna have some struggles and stuff like that, but he wasn't picked in a high to where you have those expectations to where now if he doesn't perform well, he's a bust. Jalen Hurts deserves more time, but like I say, again, 80% of the blame for me yesterday for that performance that he had in double coverage. Again, like I say, I think Jalen Hurts. I don't know if Jalen. I said it all year long. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy for the Eagles. It depends on how that organization views him. I can't say this guy is the guy because he has a good game. He has 2 great games, and then he just have a terrible game right here. So again, like I say, I stand by my thing all year long. Per people ask me, Jalen Hurts is the guy. I don't know. We got to see what this coaching staff think. But Jalen Hurts was a second round pick. Nobody expecting him to come out. He doesn't have high expectations as a second round pick. That's not a first round pick. That's a second round pick. He doesn't have high expectations.
Hold on. Go ahead, Spotlight.
I don't know about that. Just because he's a second round pick doesn't mean he doesn't have high expectations. I really disagree with that. Jalen Hurts knew that it was going to be high expectations because they knew the Eagles was getting rid of Carson Wentz. They already knew that. So Jalen Hurts was going to come in and be the quarterback eventually. But right now, I said some good things about Jalen Hurts in my Sunday morning show, and now it's making me question it. Because now, even though that he doesn't have great receivers, we see Tom Brady never had great receivers in his first couple of years with the New England Patriots and still won. I just feel like with Jalen Hurts, he just has not succeeded on any level. You won a Heisman, cool. But after you win that Heisman, once you get to the NFL, that Heisman don't mean shit when you get in the NFL. It doesn't mean nothing. It don't mean a damn thing. It just doesn't.
He didn't win.
And the talent goes up in the NFL. The style of offense goes up in the NFL. The experience goes up in the NFL. Everything is magnified in the NFL. So what you got away with in college, you don't get away with in the NFL.
He's a second year.
Bad judgment. You can get away with bad
Don't
judgment.
get me
You
wrong.
can't get away with bad judgment in the NFL.
Hold on. Hear me out. He's a second year player, but that's the Eagles' problem. You see what Carson Wentz doing in Indianapolis. Now y'all really regretting getting rid of Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz is doing good in Indianapolis. Even though they
Preach, my brother, preach.
Even though they lost to the Buccaneers yesterday, they still competed. He still threw 3 touchdowns. He still has the best running back in football. He has a good defense, something that the Eagles did not provide for Carson Wentz after that Super Bowl year. Everybody wanted to be like, oh, Nick Foles is it. But y'all got rid of that Super Bowl team after y'all won the Super Bowl. And this is why the Eagles are in the situation that they're in right now. And now you got a Jalen Hurts that has a trash-ass Jalen Reagor, which he really needs to go. You have no real number 1 receiver. You got linebackers that's on Broad and Gerard. I don't know where the hell they're from. I don't think they played a college football game a day in my life, in my opinion. So it's just too many things going on for Jalen Hurts. But right now, no matter if you put weapons around Jalen Hurts had Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts had Devontae Smith in college. He had Jalen Waddle in college. He had these receivers. He had these weapons. And now you get a Devontae Smith and you still can't succeed. That's a problem.
So
I agree with you. I agree with
second year dude.
I get what you're saying, Pride. He's a second year
No,
dude.
no
Pride.
Listen,
You can't do that with no second year.
It doesn't matter.
And Joe Burrow Joe Burrow in his second year?
Yes, I understand that. But here's the problem I'm making.
And
I'm gonna tell you why. Not every guy is a Deshaun Watson, a Patrick Mahomes, a Joe Burrow, a guy who as soon as his second year takes off. Not every guy.
Hold up, Pride.
Hold
on, Pride. Wait a minute. Did Joe Burrow go to one of the worst franchises in football in the Cincinnati Bengals and change that team around? It doesn't matter. At the end of the
No. The offense was changing stuff too.
Hear me out.
The offense was changing stuff too. Don't sit there and say it was just Joe Burrow.
Hey, everybody, come on real quick.
Joe Burrow was number 1.
You're not hearing what I'm saying, Pride. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
Hold on, Spotlight. Hold on. Because my dude Doug is here. Doug, I want you to have the opportunity to do this. If you had a good weekend in sports, give us a dance.
No, we're not doing that. Wait.
Hey. Everybody loves when fat guys dance in the end zone. I'm a former offensive lineman. Sorry, I'm not a professional lineman. Offensive lineman. So on behalf of all the fat guys who played football,
Spotlight, you didn't have a good weekend in sports. Your team lost. Oh,
my team won. My team won on Thanksgiving. What you talking about?
I'm talking about last night. What happened?
He's a Raiders fan.
Wide open. My bad.
Yeah. So
he's not his brother.
This is all I'm saying. I don't think it's fair to say, oh, Jalen Hurts is not all of a sudden balling out of his mind his second year. Get rid of him. I don't think it's fair.
You're not saying that, though.
No, Bishop just said that.
Get rid of him, Brian.
Bishop, you said he's.
I said he's not it. All I said was he's not it. I did not say get rid of him.
Jalen Hurts is not a starter in
this league. Receivers.
Jalen Hurts is not a starter in this league.
Jalen Hurts looked like a running back yesterday who should not be throwing the football. That's for sure.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like this, I'm not saying that he's trash. I just think he's not quarterback ready. He's not quarterback ready at this moment.
Should have got a veteran.
I think there's a misconception. I think there's a misconception. Misconception about the whole situation when we talk about like these draft picks and stuff like that. Like, true enough, he's a second round draft pick. He wasn't a first round draft pick, but let's not misconstrue that with the fact of they're getting drafted because of their value. That value doesn't necessarily mean it's going to become instant just like that. It's the value that they think they're going to get later on down the line. Now it's up to the individual to put that in perspective and play well or whatever case like that to get to elaborate that value is going that they are who they thought they was or they weren't. Now, when you take a consideration like we're talking about Cincinnati and we're talking about Carson Wentz and all that, the difference is the organizations. The organizations put people around those individuals, and something is coming out of that. So we can't necessarily it's your drug. We're talking about a whole bunch of different things in the aspect. It comes down to the organization. Philadelphia doesn't have look at look at what Carson Wentz, the same person y'all talking about, who's being effective in Indianapolis. Look at when he was with Philadelphia. What did he do? When he had productive players around him, they were a Super Bowl team. They don't have.
Said that too.
I was about to say, not only I think he's winning the MVP that year. I think they're winning the Super Bowl that year, and I think he's getting Super Bowl MVP.
So you got to take that into consideration. And now we're talking about Cincinnati. Cincinnati has a run game. They have receivers. Indianapolis has run games. They don't have receivers except for one. So you have to look at that. What does Philadelphia have at this point?
I wouldn't say they have one receiver. They do have a great tight end. They do have a good secondary receiver in Tyler Boyd, and they got a young up and coming receiver in T. Higgins. They're a young football team, but that's the difference between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals. They put stuff around Jalen Hurts, but at the same time, you got to make the best of what you got. If your organization is not gonna get it for you. You went out and got a Devontae Smith. Y'all moved up back into the first round at the number 10 pick to get a Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith is just as pissed as he's more pissed than his quarterback. Come on now. I'm still really worrying about the leadership of Jalen Hurts than anything, because as Jalen Hurts, I'll be pissed at Jalen Reagor. But Devontae Smith calling out your teammates, he's only a rookie. That's the problem with leadership in the locker room when it comes to Jalen Hurts. He needs to stop being too quiet and start speaking up and start listening. Y'all gotta get on y'all shit. Period.
Now, I'm pretty sure everyone here, we can agree, he's garbage, should be released, and no team should even think about bringing him to the practice squad. So here's the question: after that horrible outing last night, do you guys still trust Lamar Jackson? I'm on record saying I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't trust him, but I'm different because I didn't have that much trust in him going into this game. So
I definitely think he should be out of the elite conversation.
I'm sorry to say.
This game did nothing.
Before
I believe that. Go ahead, Spotlight.
So this is what I'm going to say about this game, right? The Browns lost this game more than Baltimore won it.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It's a fact. And now I really don't have no trust in Lamar Jackson. Because it's 2 picks. It's almost 2 picks every game for him. And it's almost a pick after pick after pick. Understand that he improved his throwing and stuff like that. But he had no excuse to throw 4 interceptions. You had no excuse on that, bro. Like, I just didn't understand what his mindset or what he was going through, because that defense kept that team in the game. Mm-hmm. And that's how they really won this game, because of their defense. But at the same time, the Browns lost this game more than the Ravens won it. Lamar Jackson, I can't trust. I'll take him out of my fantasy lineup. I don't know if I'll put him in my fantasy lineup for the next couple of weeks the way he's playing.
But my thing to you,
he's the same thing.
Is, do you blame? Is it Baker's fault that they lost that game?
Well, I give a little bit to Baker's fault, because Baker know that he has so many injuries going on. And he needs to take a step back. He needs to be sit. Let Case Keenum come in there and do it. Case Keenum is a good, solid backup quarterback. Baker Mayfield got a heel injury, a knee injury, a shoulder injury. How many injuries do you ask? How many injuries is what you're going to do to hurt your team? Right. Like, you can't be mobile. You can't be mobile because you have a knee and a heel injury that's on the same left side. Yeah. I mean, I think it's the left side or right, or left or right. It's one of them.
I think it's his right, and I think it's his left shoulder that's messed up. And every time he got hit, he was getting up real slow to the point where Stefanski needs to put on the big boy draws and let Baker Mayfield know. Listen, you need to heal. Put Case Keenum in. Mind you, they were 6-5 going into this game. They could have been 7-5 if they would have had Case Keenum in the game. In my opinion, you could honestly. I'm not mad at you saying that whatsoever. I'm not mad at you saying
that many turnovers. It's crazy that they're not 7-5.
Like Case Keenum took the Vikings to a
That's
Super
crazy
Bowl
how Baltimore is 8-3 with 4 interceptions last night. They're 8-3 with 4. And Lamar threw 4 interceptions.
Let's not get too far. Let's not get too far removed. This man is 3 years removed from being the MVP, a young MVP. At this point, when I look at it, it's just the same conversation we was having about Philadelphia. There's no receivers. It's the same thing. He's trying to do it all on his own. You can't.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Throwing the football as well. They believe in run the ball first.
I'm explaining you what the difference.
When he had a run game, they was very potent effective. The conversation we was having is he couldn't get past Mahomes in the playoffs. He doesn't have nothing remotely close to what they had before.
And
Marquise Jackson is a trash receiver.
This is my thing.
Go ahead.
With the Baltimore Ravens, they still got Mark Andrews, which is
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews is one of the top 6, top 7 tight
ends. That's about his get there. That's about it.
Marquise Brown and you cannot.
He ain't too much better than Rager.
Marquise Brown became a quote trash receiver when Lamar Jackson couldn't hit him. Let's call it what it is. Everyone loved.
I was a big fan of Marquise Brown.
All of a sudden, Lamar couldn't hit him because he couldn't throw, and all of a sudden it's his fault because he's a bad receiver. Let's call it what it is.
Marquise Brown is not a bad receiver.
No, he's not.
He's not a bad receiver, but then you got to look at the rookie Rashad Bateman. He's a good receiver for this Baltimore Ravens team. Yeah, they're young, but at the same time, like Lamar Jackson progression and his decision making is not on the wide receivers. It's on Lamar Jackson. Same thing for Jalen Hurts. You gotta keep the same energy for him. The crazy part is Lamar Jackson has better receivers than Jalen Hurts.
So are we saying that there's a misconstrued voting process, and when it comes down to quarterbacks, because you're saying now that he's bad decision making. 3 years ago he was the NFL MVP. I'm very sure decision making
was the NFL MVP as a running quarterback, not as a passing quarterback.
Running backs are running backs. They run. That's what they're drafted for. We're talking come on now. Let
me slide in here real quick. Because I want to explain to y'all the difference for me on the difference between Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, right? Here's the difference. Jalen Hurts is still trying to prove to this franchise that he's a franchise quarterback. The Ravens not only already believe in Lamar Jackson, but they're saying he can take us to a Super Bowl.
Facts.
Like what y'all just said. We're not talking about Jalen Hurts taking the Super Bowl. We're not talking about him getting over the Patrick Mahomes hump and even though he's in the
Jalen
NFC,
ain't proved himself yet.
So, regardless of the reason, we're not putting Jalen Hurts. That's why I'm putting. That's why I hold Lamar Jackson to this high expectation. People are trying to say he's a top 5 quarterback. If people are saying you're a top 5 quarterback, that comes with. I ain't snitching out. I ain't snitching on nobody. All I know is people said that. I ain't snitching on no names.
They're saying that Lamar Jackson's a top 5 quarterback.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, I ain't snitching on no names. I think they tripping, but that's just me. I'm gonna say
I don't think he is either.
I'm gonna leave it at this.
So.
I'm gonna leave it at this. When people are trying to argue a top 5 quarterback, and now the expectations is if you don't win a Super Bowl this year is a bust.
He's a top 10.
That right
I
there
give him 10.
Right there is someone said
I give him top 10.
Top 10 will take the. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying that. But that's what the expectations for Lamar Jackson is. When you have those expectations, I'm not gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, okay, you know."
But at the same time, you can't make it.
But again,
at the same time, Pride.
Hold on, real quick. But again, Pride, if you look at it, the reason why they have such big expectations for Lamar Jackson when he came into the NFL is why he was the next best thing that we had seen, like Michael Vick coming out of college. When the same things that Michael Vick was doing in VT, Virginia Tech, Lamar was doing in Louisville. So there were high expectations for him because he almost looked identical to Michael Vick. And we knew what Michael Vick brought to the NFL. So he was a human highlight reel. He came into the league and pretty much repeated what Michael Vick did when he came to Atlanta. Once he came to Baltimore, he lived up to his height. That's why he was put in a position where he was at.
But again,
I got a question.
But that just goes to solidify my point. When you're put on that pedestal,
I got a question, Pride.
Go ahead.
Who was the receivers that Lamar Jackson had when he won the MVP? Besides Marquise Brown.
It wasn't Marquise Brown. He wasn't in the league yet.
So who was the receivers when he won MVP?
Yeah, Marquise came the year after him. Yeah,
enough said. So we can't really say
2019.
But he also had a run game too.
He made it as a runner, though. Hold on, you just said he made it as a running quarterback.
Yeah. But the thing about it is though, what Trey said. Trey did say that there's not really no weapons around Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson won the MVP with no weapons. So what are we saying?
Yeah,
He also had a run game.
Hold
He had a vicious run game. They had the best run game.
Exactly. You got to realize.
Yeah,
this
but
team-
as a
hold on now. Hold on.
quarterback,
Time out. I
as a
let y'all talk for like
quarterback,
20 minutes. Wow.
as a quarterback,
Oh,
no, hear me out. As a quarterback, when quarterbacks win
Hugging.
MVP, they win off of passing stats.
No, they
If
don't.
you
not necessarily.
They-
No,
they
not necessarily.
do.
No.
They
Lamar
do.
Jackson
And
is not
lately-
running off of the bro. If I'm not mistaken, I
You
think
tell-
he was in the
when the last-
bottom 10 in passing
in the
yards
last-
the year
in
he
the-
won MVP.
Pride. In the last 10 years, when was a real dual quarterback like Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson won the MVP?
Spotlight. Calm down. Listen
Name
to this.
it. Name
Listen
it.
to this. The year that he won MVP, he
ahead,
had
Fred,
so many passing TDs.
2019.
They wasn't deep passes. A lot. Hey, what got them down to the end zone? The running game. And guess what? A lot of those touchdowns were short passes, touchdown right at the end zone. We got to realize that Lamar Jackson put 1,000+ yards
But my-
rushing, we have never seen.
But Freddie, my
You
question
got to realize
is,
this team was
So
not.
he's not really a good quarterback. He's just one hell of a running back.
hey,
We
thank
also
you. He's
realize
just a
this
hell of a
team
He's
was
running
just the
not
back.
best running back to everybody. No, but people talk about great quarterbacks. They never talk about, well, how far did he run? How many rushing yards has he accumulated?
That's not a fair statement, James.
Passing yards. Who is
That's not
talking
a
about
fair
passing
statement.
yards? Okay, you got Marino, you got all the greats, right? You always talk about passing yards when you talk about a quarterback. You talk about rushing yards when you talk about a running
That's
back.
not a
Emmitt
fair
Smith,
statement,
Barry Sanders, talk
Jay.
about rushing title. So
Jay.
do I want a rusher or do I want a
Jay.
passer or do I want a mix of both?
Jay, that's not a fair
But-
statement because
so-
we have to realize that yes, we can put some blame on Lamar for not being a passing quarterback, but we have to put blame on that.
You see what he does when he
organization as well.
passes?
But we
have
can't.
to put
But
blame
the
on that
thing about this,
organization as
y'all
well
still
because they
didn't
have
answer
not-
my question.
What elite receiver does
Y'all
does
still
Lamar
didn't
have?
answer my question.
No.
So all those
Go ahead.
What elite
all
wide
those
receiver
touchdowns
have,
that he
have
threw,
Lamar had him
all those
down there in
touchdowns that he threw
Baltimore?
that MVP year.
Mark
who
Andrews.
was the wide receiver?
His best
Who was the wide
his best-
receiver?
Mark Andrews.
No, it was right here. It
Mark
was Willie Snead.
Snead, Ingram, and Mark Andrews. Mark
Ingram
Andrews
and
was
Mark
his
So
best
Andrews.
receiver.
Willie Snead was the reason why
Not
he
really
won
great
MVP.
route runners. They're more.
No, Mark Andrews.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they don't need route runners. At the time, they didn't need route runners. They just needed guys to go out and just jump and get the ball. That's really all they needed. Because that's the only time Lamar would throw the ball.
And this is why Lamar won't win a championship because he don't have a true number one. This is why he will never win a championship because he doesn't have a true number one. Period.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question. Do you know how many yards Lamar Jackson had that year?
So,
Throwing the ball.
So,
when
did he win in the playoffs? When did he win in the playoffs?
Only won one playoff game.
No.
I'm talking about playoff games.
You're not changing it and thinking you gotta win. No. You said he won the MVP based off throwing the ball. That's what you said. You told me that. You looked at your camera in my eye and you told me that he won the MVP because he threw the ball. I now ask you, how many yards did Lamar Jackson throw his MVP year? It's a simple question. You just give me the number.
36 touchdowns.
I don't care.
36 touchdowns
He still
and
lost
6
in the
picks.
playoffs. Don't mean shit. He still lost in the playoffs.
He's got more picks than he does wins in the playoffs.
He still lost in the playoffs.
See, this is the problem. You can't
3,127 yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 picks in the regular season.
Thank you. And if you watch his thing, they were checkdowns.
And then I think they got bounced by the Tennessee Titans in the first.
But that's the year he also rushed for 1,000 yards.
I'm not talking about
He rushed for 1,000 yards.
He was at that year.
Next time,
that-
we're talking about another game.
Both he had 1,000 yards rushing, and Mark even had 1,000 yards rushing that year.
He had 1,200 yards.
Yeah, 1,200
He
1,200
outrushed
yards.
Mark Ingram.
Yeah, he had
Bro, I just
2,000
want to say
yards.
one thing real quick.
See, that's the thing. Regular season Lamar Jackson and playoff Lamar Jackson are two different people.
Yep.
And
Two different
until
people,
those
agreed.
two people
meet up
and have Lamar babies and become the same player,
yeah,
it's still going to be the same problem,
And again,
like we saw last year and
Two
the year
different
before.
people,
but I'm not even talking
two
about
different
playoffs.
people, only two different people, but the same solution in the playoffs.
So I just want
Period.
to throw a point out there. Lamar Jackson in 2019 was first in passing touchdowns, but when it came to passing yards, he was 22nd.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
he had a lot of short,
yes,
he had a lot of short
he
touchdown
was
passes.
He was top. He was in the bottom 10 on passing yards.
So basically, Nate the Great just proved Freddie's point where he runs the ball down and throws a short dump pass to the end zone.
Which is what I've been saying the whole time.
Right.
But
The whole time.
hey, let's be honest. Hey, the Lamar Jackson we saw the other day is a more typical Lamar where he goes out there in 2 possessions, he throws 2 picks. Back-to-back possessions, 2 picks. That's the more traditional Lamar that we know. Not that every once in a while Lamar.
Nobody cares for that. Nobody cares for that MVP Lamar anymore. That MVP Lamar has passed. And he has not been the same since he's won that MVP.
What the hell? How long was it that he got the MVP 2019? That was only a few years ago. It's not like way back then.
Actually, it was 2 years ago.
What is that record right now?
But you got to move on. You got to build
2 years,
off
well,
that
technically
MVP
3
year.
years ago. But
Yeah.
Which a lot of
Right
quarterbacks
now?
don't do.
All I'm saying
Aren't they 8-3 right now? Yes or no?
You said what?
Currently, yeah, they're winning.
Okay, then. So what? Okay, so carry the hell on, like big person.
They can win all they want until they win the playoff
Yeah,
game.
until the playoffs.
Well, they've
So,
only won that game.
I know we tend to talk.
It's not about the Raiders.
Baltimore's
we
defense won that
We
playoff
won.
game.
So,
Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson
you
did
beat
not.
the Cowgirls, what you supposed to
It doesn't
do.
matter. A win is a win, right?
Thank you for
beat who
being
you
the
supposed-
Cowboys,
A win is a
by the way.
win,
We
right?
appreciate it.
You can't beat the Giants.
A win is a win, though, right?
Yeah, you lost that game. You don't want to talk
A
about
win
that.
is a
I can assure you, man. Like, let's keep it. Don't lose. I know because we talk sports and stuff like that, but understand it's a business. If they're winning, I can assure you they can let them to continue to go as long as they're getting to the playoffs. That gives hope, which means it puts butts in the seats, and they can take care of less about that championship. When they get the championship, okay, we'll get it. But they're 8-3 right now. That makes a difference. Winning is what makes a difference, regardless if they get into the play or win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Not good. All right.
The Ravens
so
are 37-10 with Lamar Jackson as a starter. So I mean, they're still
Yeah.
that's the
They're
numbers
making
are
a
what they
difference
are.
compared to what they were.
I mean, look, hold on.
You have to get to the playoff. I mean, regular season
Yeah.
will always
Yeah, the
matter.
playoffs
because
is
you have
where
to
it's
get to
not
the playoffs. The playoffs will always be a different animal, but I mean, you still have to be good to get to the playoffs. Then
This is the
it's a whole
same
different
Damien
story.
that has not won a Super Bowl since 1985. Shut up, Damien.
Hey, Damien.
Who's the last time the Raiders been
Tell
ready?
Tony La Russa stop being a drunk. Stop drinking. Shut up,
All right,
Damien.
so hold on.
Continue. I want to make Spotlight man. Continue. Troll
No.
him.
Let's keep it
You're not gonna
moving.
make me mad.
Of
Because
this whole,
the Chicago Bears
mad.
the Chicago Bears are the abysmal of a franchise.
so
I can
in
make
this
you
entire
mad.
conversation, we learned 2 things: Lamar Jackson is goated, and Jalen Hurts is complete and utter dog shit. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
We did not.
Tonight in
We did
Seattle
not come to that
Seahawks
conclusion.
at
Todd.
the
We did not.
Washington football team. Real quick, you don't go into detail. I think we all know who's gonna win. Freddie, I'm gonna start with you. Who's winning?
Winning what game?
Between the
Washington
Seattle Seahawks and the
Seattle.
Washington football team.
I'm going to Washington football team. Why we didn't talk about the Rams and the Packers game yesterday? We just jumped all the way from Sunday. Just go straight to Monday.
Freddie, can I ask you a question? Are you the host? No, right? All right then. Trey, who you got winning?
Pow! Shots fired. Pow! Pow! Pow!
We do realize Freddie
Go ahead,
runs
Trey.
the whole company, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with the Washington football team. You know why? Huh?
Wow.
Freddie,
Like
Freddie,
telling
why?
Vince McMahon to
Explain.
go screw himself.
Explain.
I am, but you just cut me off. But I'm gonna tell you why. Because this Seattle team, I think they dig themselves too deep of a hole. Russell Wilson, him being gone as long as he was, I'm not sure if he's ready to go against a defense like Washington. I expect, even though without Chase Young, I do expect them to, make best plays. They, this Washington team should feel a lot much better. They see the Cowboys lose. They should have some kind of hope. And say, hey, there's still a chance. There's still a chance that we can find ourselves back into this division.
Yep.
That's true.
All right.
They're not totally out of there just yet.
Okay.
Jay McLevin, he'll be crying. Hey, Jay McLevin, let's make a deal. If the Washington football team comes back, get close to the playoff contention by the end of the year, you have to cut your beard off.
Well, that ain't gonna happen, but okay, he ain't got no Chase Young. He done tore his ACL, so yeah, I'll take that bet. And if I win, you gotta wear Cowboys gear. Oh!
Yeah, Freddie. Come on, Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie. Yeah, Freddie.
That's a good one.
Let's go, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. You gotta do
Trey.
it.
Yo, Trey, real quick, who you
What's
got?
up?
Seattle or Washington football team. And by the way, Freddie, we are going to talk about the Rams and Packers. We are. I just want to get this game out the way because honestly, I might not even watch this game because it's probably going to be probably the worst for the fourth worst game this year. So I just want to get this game over.
You know what I say to that?
So,
I say this.
Freddie, real quick, Seattle or Washington? Who you got?
Actually, I'm going with Seattle. I think you can't. I mean, Russell Wilson is who we know he is. He's not. You can't keep him down too long. I don't foresee him. They have an offense. They have players around them. They have weapons. It's just a matter of him getting back into the groove of things. So I think Washington without a Young, I don't foresee him. I think Seattle can win this one.
All right, Coach, who you got?
I got Washington. And it's a potential. That Washington found their guy in Taylor Heineke. That guy is a really good quarterback. He's on fire right now. So I'm gonna stay with the hot hand, Taylor Heineke. I'm gonna stay with the hot hand, Taylor Heineke in the Washington football team.
All right, Jay, you're shaking your head. I'm assuming you're not a Taylor Heineke fan at all.
No. I think he's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it's like you said, when you lose the major heart of your defense, aka Chase Young, and then I think you're a subpar. You're a sub team, and then you got what Russell Wilson back. Look, honestly, I'm watching the game tomorrow because I got Lock as my fantasy guy, so I'll be watching it tomorrow. And I do see Seattle banging the doors out of Washington, Freddie. So I hope you got your jersey right. I know you're not gonna take that bet because you're too scared to really. You're gonna lose. It's okay.
I don't believe
Freddie only goes for sure things. If it's not a for sure thing,
Jerry Jones
Freddie
about
no
blood.
faith in it.
All right, Greg, who you got? Seattle or Washington?
I'm going with the Washington football team. Russell Wilson still trying to get back in the groove after being injured. I don't think it's going to happen tonight. I look for Washington to win by 2 touchdowns.
All right, Bishop, snap out of your little sad little funk. I know you're gonna give up. You already gave up on Jalen Hurts. Don't give up on the show, my guy. Who you got? Seattle. And by the way, I'm throwing jabs all show. I'm throwing jabs like
bring them. I'm like Floyd. I'm gonna dodge them joints. Dodge them joints. I'm like Floyd, baby.
Really? You want to play that game?
But
I'm gonna have you. You want to play? I'm gonna have you like Jab Judah have him on baby feet.
Negative.
Who you got?
But
Washington or
just to answer your question, right? I'm like Jason, and you missing a key part on that defense, and I think Russell Wilson is going to exploit that. And I feel like without Chase out there, it's gonna be a different ball game. I think Russ gonna figure it out in this game, and they're gonna get a win on the road versus the Washington football team. I'm taking the Seahawks.
I spotlight the man who said Jalen Hurts is dog shit and Lamar Jackson is goated. Who you got? Washington or Seattle?
Oh Lord!
Don't take that spotlight. First off,
I'm not worried about no pride.
You better be. You better be.
I am not concerned about no pride.
That's
you
fine. Don't be concerned
about
Don't be
pride.
concerned. You gotta be concerned with
I had
me.
to jab that. I had to jab. Trey, you see I jabbed that.
It's good. It's good.
Bro.
I'm taking to watch the football team because nobody failed to remember that the Seattle Seahawks is almost damn near dead last on defense. On damn near every stat. Nobody has nothing to say about Antonio Gibson running that football against this Seattle Seahawks football. Terry McLaurin is one of the best up-and-coming wide receivers for his age at this time. Even though they don't have Chase Young, they still on a 2-game winning streak without Chase Young. So Chase Young doesn't even make it doesn't make a difference that Chase Young is there, but they still want to play football. Heineke is going to keep them in the game as their quarterback. So I'm taking
the defense can stop DK, Lockett, and the rest of the crew.
Yeah, don't listen. Lockett and Metcalf have not had great games in the last 2 games. Russell's been.
No, I guarantee it gets Lockett.
That's why they do.
This is why I feel like even though Chase Young is not there, this offensive line is not going to block for Russell. No matter if Chase Young is there or not. If you see the last 2 games, it's been like 4 or 5 sacks in the last 2 games on Russell Wilson. Come on, I'm just not trusting Seattle. Washington football team by 2 touchdowns.
All right, Doug, are you going to support? Doug, are you going to support your division rivals, or are you gonna say, nah, I want them to lose? Who you got, Seattle or Washington?
Well, I definitely want my division rival to lose, but here's the thing: as bad as Washington is, Seattle is in total chaos right now, to the point where people think that Russell Wilson could get traded in the offseason because of their failure to protect Russell Wilson, who's getting older, who ever since they didn't hand the ball off to Marshawn, they've been kind of on this, I don't want to say a decline, but they haven't been at that same level. Washington pulled off the upset against the Buccaneers, who I still feel like people are forgetting about, are the defending champions and could be the team that comes out of the NFC. Taylor Heineke has held it. He was the backup when this year started. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the starter, and Heineke has held this team together. Freddie mentioned it earlier. Like the Redskins, the football team are still in the mix for the playoffs, with the Cowboys losing and the Giants winning, and a win gets them to 5 wins, and they're still breathing. I mean, are they going to be a playoff team? I don't know, but they're making it interesting in this last month coming up. So, if it was in Seattle, Seattle would probably win, but because it's in Washington, their defense is still pretty decent. That's why they've won games. I think the Redskins are going to win this. I don't know about a blowout because Seattle will fight you, and they have a puncher's chance as long as Russell Wilson's playing, because Geno Smith is garbage. I'm going to say probably by a touchdown. I think Seattle will fight them, but I think Washington wins this, gets to 5 wins, and they have life going into the last month.
I don't know if y'all saw the news. I just saw it pop up on Bleacher Report, but Mike McCarthy is not coaching on Thursday Night Football. He tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Well, that's a win for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I just want to also be I want to be, excuse my French, a dickhead. That man Lincoln Riley has just arrived in LA about 30 minutes ago. So
let's go.
Bishop, I know you feel a way about that, brother.
Bishop, you all right, man? Bishop, you good?
I just want
you good, Frank?
Trey, are you happy
about
that
Frank?
move?
Yeah,
I know you're a USC fan.
Hey, this is for Lincoln Riley right here, you guys.
And you know what? I don't know if you didn't know this. I don't know if you knew this either. They had the number 1 quarterback in the nation in high school decommit from Oklahoma too,
and a wide receiver, and a wide receiver. And there's a rumor that the running back too decommitted. So potentially 3 players decommitted.
And you knew that was going to have ramifications, though. Pride, you knew when he left. When he talked about
I didn't think were going too.
Hey, Pride. Hey, can I say something right quick? Hey, Pride.
Let me explain something to y'all. Lincoln Riley going to USC ain't gonna make USC no better. They still
but it certainly hurts Oklahoma better.
It's a doodle conference out there. It's a doodle conference out there. We know that's a doodle conference.
Hold on, Bishop. Hold your horses. I promise we gonna get to that. You're gonna have your moment. But before we move on, the LA dog shit, Rams, took a flaming hot L to the Packers. I did say earlier it was 36-28. Watching that game, that was not the score. It was way worse. I think it's 3 games in a row. Matthew Stafford had thought it was a brilliant idea to throw a pick 6. What is going on through his mind? I don't know. But here's the $1 million question. I'm gonna start with you, Freddie, because Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Is it over for the Rams? And should the Packers be a legit contender in the NFC?
Can I go before I hang up?
No.
I'm gonna
go
before I hang up because listen.
Freddie A. Smith is about
the
to
Packers
activate.
I'm not going to debate. The Packers played a hell of a game yesterday. I can't say that. But the Rams are the most overrated team in the NFC. They're the most overrated team in the NFC. And I put that up there. Y'all can screen record that and say that. And y'all can come back to it if y'all disagree with me. Say, hold that spotlight. You said this and you said that. But the Packers played a good game. Did Aaron Rodgers have his best game? No. But what I do have to give it to, who was bad on that team? Was that defense. Shout out to the Green Bay Packers defense. They made Matthew Stafford look uncomfortable. He was very uncomfortable. So the Rams, they're just not that great of a football team. Even though Odell did get a touchdown and stuff like that, but that defense did what needed to be done to win that game. So with that being said, the Packers are the best team in the NFC. Sadly, but true. But the most overrated team is the Rams. So that's all I really gotta say about that. I gotta go back to work.
All right, B-Say Spotlight. All right, Freddie, go ahead, gawk, laugh,
immunized it all.
Go ahead.
He's a bad man. He's not just a bad man. He's a bad man. Ooh, did I just not see a game on yesterday? Aaron Rodgers went in there in Lambeau Field with a broken toe and put on a show. Trayvon, get his numbers up for me, please. I know
Freddie,
you.
I'm about to tell you his numbers. You do
me.
realize he was 48. He was 28 for 45, but Matthew Stafford was 21 for 38, and he only threw 5 more yards than Matthew Stafford.
But who turned the ball over? Who fumbled the ball? Who hurt their team to lose the game? Who choked when they needed him the most? Okay, then let me carry the hell on. But like I said, in that Green Bay defense, I mean, they was making some plays. I forgot that cornerback that was on Jefferson, but hey, Daniels, I think his last name was. That Jefferson couldn't get a thing. I mean, yes, we seen an Odell Beckham sighting. Yes, we seen that. And Nate, I'm not gonna answer you. And yes, we know. Hey, Cooper Kupp, aren't you a number one guy? Where were you at? I mean, you had a few plays.
He had 7 receptions for 96 yards.
But he was missing. Like, let's not forget. Like, he was missing most of the game. The first half, I didn't even know Cooper Kupp was playing. Let's just be honest. I wanted to see more. You're a true number one. But one thing we saw about Devontae Adams, even though when Ramsey was on him, hey. Him and Roger were still able to find connections, still give him the football. Yes, you know, we seen Randall Cobb. We seen Randall Cobb, even though we seen him with Dallas and Dak Prescott couldn't find a way to get Randall Cobb the football. But guess what? Aaron Rodgers could because he's that dude.
Cooper Kupp was getting double teamed. Are you smoking?
And he still had 7
I'm
receptions.
just saying, if you the number one guy, you still need to find ways to get the football. Devontae Adams double team a lot of times. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers still find ways to get that man the football. Sean
He had
McVay,
one more reception, Freddie. He had one more reception than Cooper Kupp.
Listen, gentlemen, you talking, but you not letting me talk. Sean McVay, he came in that game scared. He went for like a 4th down, like in a bad field position in the first half. I just showed, okay, so you kind of scared. You don't. I mean, what happened to Matthew Stafford? I mean, did we see Jared Goff yesterday or Matthew Stafford? I mean, who did we see? Because he was selling the bag at one point in that game as well. Let's not sit up and act like he wasn't selling the bag. He started the game off. He started the game off not looking like that dude, and he started the second half not looking like that dude, and he finally got back in the groove. But listen.
Hey, also breaking news, y'all. It ain't just Mike McCarthy. It's up to 8 Dallas Cowboy players that positive.
They still don't know who it is. They're trying to get all that situated.
What can go wrong?
And the rumors around is that their main concern.
This is who they are, Jay McLovin.
Sharing too much.
This is who they are.
I always love it. I always love it when Freddie talks about the Packers because he gets so much more twinkle in his eye than he does about a New York Giants win. And I just want to say that it thrills me to see a man who has 2 teams and can be so emotional about the one that he really. I don't get it. When you got that New York Giants fan thing, did the hat come with the package? Is that how that works? You buy your tickets when you get the free hat?
No,
get him,
Frank has a man crush.
Get him,
he's enamored by the
hair. I mean, ladies, they're like some kind of like fan card.
I will let you carry on. Can I put James?
So real quick, Bishop, about your thing, real quick. Just touching up real quick about your thing, Bishop. Their concern is that it's like the offensive players. They're more concerned that they believe CeeDee Lamb was like in close contact, which I don't know how, because I don't even think he even was at the stadium with the whole concussion thing. Because I think if you're injured, I don't know if you're allowed to be in the stadium. I don't know because with the whole COVID protocol,
you're not.
I don't know, but supposedly it's him. They're also worried about Tony Pollard. So like they're trying to like kind of figure all that stuff out. Whenever they find out whatever it is, it probably won't be until a couple hours. You probably won't find out till then because they'll probably test everyone in the entire facility.
Oh, you know that they're going to
just to make sure that they're on all.
Oh, they're definitely going to test the whole team.
But real quick, Freddie, because you said Cooper Kupp, he was quiet or whatever. He had 7 targets, so that means the ball was thrown to him at least 7 times, right? So do you know how many targets he had? Don't worry about it because I know he had 10.
A lot of times
he had 10.
A lot of times you think with your heart.
Don't sit here and say, "Oh my God, Cooper Kupp didn't have anything. Oh my God, he really was." No, you can't say that when the guy still this year
Pride. I don't.
There's only one game where he had not had at least 10 receptions or 10 targets. No, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. No, I'm not playing no more. I ain't playing no more, bro. I ain't playing no more, Fredward.
You want to think with your heart and not your brain.
He had
you didn't hear what I said.
How many catches did Cooper Kupp have in the game?
7.
Yeah, 7 catches.
Yeah, one more.
Of them, so I'm just looking back. 2 of them were in garbage time when the Rams were out of it. So that's 5 catches that he had in the actual. I guess you want to call it main game. So 2 of them were in garbage time.
Heart. Is he getting his feelings?
Getting targeted. All right, fine. So 5, right? So you want to strip 2 of those, right? You want to strip 2 of those from him, right?
You have to.
Let's strip 2 targets from him, right? That's still 5 for 7. That's still 5 for 7. On a guy who's been double teamed. And a guy who's done double team, and they still got other weapons. This offense in the Cooper Kupp or bust.
Not about that, bro. If you look at that first half,
right,
if you look at that first half, you go watch and say, what did Cooper Kupp bring to that football team?
It was
not targeting him. And you know what?
Yes,
like I said, Devontae Adams. Like I said, Devontae Adams double team. But guess what? Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers found ways to get him involved in it all.
Just because you're a number 1 doesn't mean all of a sudden you're better than DeAndre Adams or D-Hop. There have been times where Mike Evans. There's been times where Mike Evans. There have been times Mike Evans, who's a legit number 1, has been double teamed and did not get the ball. That doesn't mean he's trash. It just means you just go to other options.
I like to put words in my mouth. Did I ever say that?
No, you didn't say that.
I didn't think I said that. Trayvon, did you hear me say that?
Say what?
That he's better than Devontae Adams.
But you're telling no.
You
he's not a number 1.
Made it seem
You're
like
comparing him to Devontae Adams.
I'm not comparing him to Devontae Adams. He's their number 1. He's their number 1, and he cannot be found in the first half.
He lost the plot.
They're different receivers, though. They're
That's what I'm saying. If you're number 1, that
Devontae's a big,
thank
big
you,
old 6'5" receiver.
I didn't compare him to Devontae
Cooper Kupp's a speedy receiver who's 6'1".
He's a slot.
And then come back.
He's a slot. He runs routes.
He's a yards after catch guy.
Matter of fact, Cooper Kupp holds the record, the NCAA record for receiving yards.
He does.
Jay McLevin, did I compare him to Devontae Adams?
Well, you were certainly in the realm of it.
No, what I said was
because you said Devontae Adams can do it, like you just said that.
What I know, Rod, stop listening with your heart and listen with your ears.
You
right
literally
now.
don't even know what you're saying.
Listen, if you stop talking, you can hear what I'm saying.
No, I don't want to hear what you're saying because what you're saying is nonsense.
You can't hear
because you double back every other sentence. You
can't hear why I'm talking. It don't work like that.
Change it.
It don't work like that, Pride. What I said was that the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers, even when Devontae Adams is double teamed, that's not me comparing them. When they double team, they find ways to get him the football. I'm saying that Sean McVay.
So that you're indirectly comparing him. You're indirectly. You might as well just say, "Well, Cooper Kupp couldn't do that." You might as well just say that because you're indirectly comparing him.
If you listen, I'm about to go there.
I listen to an indirect comparison.
And the quarterback for the Rams did not find ways to get Cooper Kupp involved in the first half. That's what I'm saying. I didn't compare nobody's skill. I didn't compare none of that. I just said that they struggled getting Cooper Kupp involved. That's all I said.
I think the worst thing the Rams did was make all those trades because I honestly feel, they're on a 3-game losing streak and they went from being a potential Super Bowl contender the way they were, all of a sudden they look like they can't win a football game, and especially against the better teams of the NFC, like the Packers. And now, I mean, I don't want to blame it on Odell, but I mean, they're all calling it the Odell effect. They've on a 3-game losing streak.
Been there long enough for that. But I'll tell you this: Stafford or Goff, neither one of those quarterbacks was going to get the Rams to the Super Bowl. I mean, just to be honest, neither one of them are going to get them there.
Stafford was before they made all those trades. Stafford was looking like the MVP of the league before they did all that stuff before the deadline. Now they're on a 3-game losing streak.
So my question for y'all is Stafford and the Rams still gonna make it to the
I think they hobble into it.
I think they do enough to make the playoffs.
I think they do enough to make the playoffs. 100%. I think they make the playoffs.
I think they make the playoffs. But Super Bowl, I don't know. I don't know about the
But the bigger issue was Darnold and Von Miller didn't have a big impact on that game. That should really be the bigger topic. Why didn't Von Miller and Darnold make a bigger impact?
Because their Green Bay's offense is peaking at the right time, even without their best O-lineman not even playing.
I will say this when it comes to Matthew Stafford. Originally I didn't think it was going to work. They started winning, so I was like, you know what? There's potential. I think it might end up working. The biggest indictment on Matthew Stafford was when they went and got Odell, because before the season started, they said the reason we did not win the Super Bowl was because of Jared Goff. That's why they went and traded. Now, after you trade him, you then go and get Von Miller and Odell in the span of a week. If that's not an indictment on Matthew Stafford, then I don't know what is. Because they were not. I'm saying this right now. If Jared Goff is there, they're not making those moves. That's all I'm saying. I don't think they're making those moves. Jared Goff is there.
No, the reason why they go get an Odell Beckham Jr. and a Von Miller is because now that you say, okay, now we have a Matthew Stafford, we have a chance to make a run at it. That's why they go get those guys.
That's why you make those moves, because you're trying to win a Super Bowl right now. So that's why you make moves like that. They said hey, we have to go get this Super Bowl. So you gamble on Von Miller and Odell Beckham. You have to win the Super Bowl now. Now the pressure's on the Rams. You got to do it.
In my opinion, I believe Matthew Stafford, they made the wrong choice. Matthew Stafford, there's a couple times this year we just seen him fold under pressure. We just seen him fold under pressure. There's a lot of pressure on this man's shoulders. There's reports that he's injured. He's not the healthiest guy right now. I mean, it's getting tougher down there in Los Angeles. And just like the Lakers, you can't expect to go buy championships. Only team that can is the Lakers, because I mean that's what we did. We did that 17 championships.
Y'all barely beat Detroit. Stop it.
Pride. I mean, Bishop, a win is a win.
Y'all barely beat them though.
Bishop, a win.
That only applies in the regular season.
Bishop.
That only applies in the regular season. You can't think like that in the playoffs. There's no way
you can.
Crucified.
A win is a win in the.
Shit. Okay.
A win is a win in the playoffs.
Yes.
You can win ugly in the playoffs. It's still a win. It's still the same thing on the left side.
Playoff, because they only go to the first round, maybe get lucky to the second.
The Lakers beating the Detroit Pistons. Really?
Hey, the Cowboys. A win is a win. Who's your basketball team? Oh, the Nets. I mean, what have they done lately? I mean, okay.
Is our record better than y'all's? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Is the playoffs over right now?
Detroit Lions are the same team.
I didn't ask about the playoffs. We said, is your record better than ours?
I don't care about the record. See, Trayvon, that's what they do.
Hey,
Jay, he coming there trying to troll me. We win 15 straight. Like, I'm good. That's your championship. Because guess what? That's teams that have not accomplished anything. That's what y'all care about. Me and Trayvon, we know it's the marathon. We know it's
I think Bishop, I softened up Bishop. I think I softened up Bishop a little bit ever since I picked the Oklahoma to lose against Baylor. I think I softened him up a little bit, and he kind of didn't recover. I think he kind of didn't recover after that.
You jinxed me. You jinxed me, coach. You jinxed me, bro. You jinxed me, coach. You did. You jinxed the hell out of me, man. Ever since you did that pick, we've been falling to the wayside ever since.
All right, so y'all
just made 500.
I'm gonna keep it pushing because I'm running a lot.
Breaking news, Pride.
You said what now?
Michael Porter Jr. will undergo a surgical procedure on his lower back and will miss a definite period. His agent just reported that.
Which, by the way, when I hear indefinite, it just means he's out the rest of the season. So
that's at least 2 months. That's at least.
I think more.
Could be. It's 2 months is a guess.
That's a back surgery. Yeah, he's gonna be out.
Back surgery's tough.
Yeah, he's gonna be out.
Back surgery, you're talking at least 2 months. Maybe it could be 3.
That's
I'm not a doctor.
He's a talent, man.
Yeah, I mean, even at this young, he might have to. So real quick, so college football happened. Before I talk about the rankings, before I go into any detail, anything, Bishop, the floor is yours. Vent.
Go, Bishop.
All right, man. So real quick, man, we were embarrassed by Oklahoma State in the Bedlam game this past Saturday. I will say, Lincoln Riley, I can't stand you. Get out of Oklahoma. Leave Oklahoma. Leave Norman. I'm glad you over in California. That's probably where you wanted to be in the first place. You sitting here telling all the critics and everybody, oh, I'm not going to be the head coach of LSU. We're all in the same time. You knew you was about to be the coach of USC. You should have said that in the press conference. Don't have everybody hype and thinking, oh, no, you're not leaving Oklahoma just for you to say I'm going to be the head coach for one of the most garbage conferences in college football by going to USC. I hope all your players, nothing against your players, I hope everybody that you take along with you, I hope they fall out and get hurt. Every last one of them. I don't care. I really don't care. I used to like you, Lincoln, but now I despise you. I despise you. I do not like.
You're giving him the Miami Dolphins Nick Saban treatment.
I don't like what you did. I do not like what you did. You knew deep down in your heart that you was leaving Oklahoma. You should have came out up front and said that. But it's cool. We're gonna bounce back. I don't know who we're gonna get. I know we got our returning.
There's no bounce back. Oklahoma's done.
Oh, we're gonna bounce back some way, form or fashion. We're gonna get
Oklahoma's done. Y'all done lost your recruits. Welcome to purgatory, baby. In the SEC, welcome to purgatory.
Do you want Cliff?
No,
Kingsbury?
we're gonna get somebody.
He's been mentioned. Cliff Kingsbury's been mentioned. Do you want him?
Cliff Kingsbury, that's not bad. That's not bad. They even talked about, somebody even mentioned Pete Carroll. I don't know how that came up, but it was.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
Nah, not at 70 years old. Cliff Kingsbury is more likely.
Yeah,
he's got only a year
Cliff
left on his
Kingsbury, I can.
No, but ain't no way. Look, I'm gonna put it this way. Ain't no way Cliff Kingsbury is gonna go unless something happens. Because just the way things are clicking right now in Arizona, you would be almost an idiot.
That's why Lincoln left. Money talks. That's why Lincoln left.
Money will talk the loudest in the end.
I understand that, but
I think Cliff Kingsbury realizes that he wasn't an effective college football head coach. I mean, he left USC to go the OC position to go take over the Arizona head coach, but I don't think he would leave Arizona to go coach at
unless they make him a mega offer. That's the thing.
Hold on, real quick. I want to answer this question. Well, San Diego State, even though they're 11-1, did you know they're still dog shit? And UTSA 11-1, they're not really 11-1. They actually gave them an extra 1. They're actually 1-11. Did you know that? Record doesn't mean shit, and you can go over and still make the playoffs. So that's why they don't get no love, because it doesn't matter what your record is. Because if you're not playing a top 25 guy every single week, every single day, every single minute, every single second of your life, you are considered dog shit. Even though there are hundreds of programs who have college basketball teams, even though there's hundreds and there's only 25 ranked, it doesn't matter. If you're not ranked, you're shit. So if you play unranked teams, you're dog shit. That's why they don't. But again, what do I know? I'm supposed to listen to some morons who just Google shit and watch the occasional bowl game because it's trendy. Fucking bullshit. Sorry, I gotta get that.
You're like Aaron Donald going for those throats. You're like Aaron Donald trying to choke slam some of them.
Nah, listen, Doug, you don't understand, man. I've been saying, look, at the time UTSA had a top 4 record, right? They had a top 4 record. You should give them some respect. They deserve some respect.
So many people.
You give them respect, and then they instead of saying their own opinion, they go to Google. And then they literally just rip off someone else's opinion, try to pass it off as their own, Then when you call them an idiot for it, they cry about it. And then, oh, pride is mean.
So many people were laughing at me when I made a post and I said that UTSA should be number 3 when they were undefeated. Before their last loss. I don't have them as number 3 now. But I said that they should be number 3 before that North Texas lost. And so many people were laughing at me about that.
And on top of that, I
would not put UTSA at number 3. Nate.
And that's my thing. Look, if you didn't want to put them at top 3, fine. I felt like they were between, and me and Coach talked about this.
I put them at
15,
10 and 15, 14.
15, that's what we talked about.
14, that's right.
Me personally, I'm like, in my world, I think between 10 and 15 is fine.
Yeah, we basically stated that they should have been higher at the time. I mean,
yeah,
and
they should have never been 22 at. They should have never been 22 at 11.
And which is unfortunate now because now they're just going to basically try to paint the picture of this is why they were ranked that low. Like, I mean, it is what it is.
But they did have them. I will say they did have them. They did have UTSA ranked 15th in the AP poll.
That's what I had them at.
The AP poll had it right when they had them at 15. And by the way, CEO, I'm actually gonna bring up the AP. So before we do the AP poll, this is how college football rankings. This is how it is for week 14, right? So Georgia at 1. Hold on. Now I'm not bugging, bro. Hold on. Did they come out? Oh, that's AP. I'm smoking herbs. My bad.
The college football playoff, it don't come out until Tuesday.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, so it's week 13. I was looking at the wrong one. That's why I thought I was smoking for a full minute. So it was Georgia at 1, Ohio State at 2, Bama at 3, Cincy at 4, Michigan at 5, Notre Dame at 6, Oklahoma State at 7, Baylor at 8, Ole Miss at 9, Oklahoma at 10, Oregon at 11, at 12, Michigan State, BYU at 13, 14, Wisconsin, 15, Texas A&M, 16, Iowa, 17, Pittsburgh, 18, Wake Forest, 19, Utah, 20, North Carolina State, 21, San Diego State, 22, UTSA, 23, Clemson, 24, Houston, 25, Arkansas. And by the way, just in case anyone's knowing, there are more than 25 teams. There are more than 25 programs. Unfortunately, people don't know how to count and they don't understand college football. So that's why a lot of people don't understand that. So this is the AP, which there's a couple of things that kind of blew my mind a little bit. So first and foremost, Georgia at 1. We all agree here, correct?
Yes, by far.
Absolutely.
Michigan at 2, Cincy at 3, Alabama at 4, Oklahoma State at 5. Keep waiting, Bishop. Notre Dame at 6. Right there. Go ahead.
Bishop.
No, but Bishop.
Michigan should not be over Cincy. I give Harbaugh. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me go because I'm with you. I'm 100%.
Hey, I think Cincy should be number 2. I think actually Cincy should be number 2. Pushed up to number 2.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely, Cincy should be number 2.
Absolutely.
Me personally, I would have had it Georgia. That's going to be another topic. We'll get to that in a minute. But Cincy at 3, Bama at 4, Oklahoma State at 5, Notre Dame at 6, Ohio State at number 7, 8 Ole Miss, 9 Baylor, 10 Oregon, 11 Michigan State at 12, BYU at 13, Oklahoma, 14th Utah, 15th Iowa, 16th Houston, 17th Pittsburgh, 18 Wake Forest, 19 San Diego State, 20 Louisiana, 21 North Carolina State, 22 Clemson, 23 Arkansas, 24 Texas A&M, 25 Kentucky. So we're all in agreement that Cincy should be number 2, right?
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
Hold on.
UTSA fell out.
Yeah, they fell out. Yeah, they fell out.
Yeah,
hey, tell me your top 5 again.
So the top 5. So for the AP poll, Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2, Cincinnati at 3, Alabama at 4, Oklahoma State at 5.
Okay. Now let me tell you this. This is what the coaches poll have them at going into week 14. Georgia at 1, Alabama at 2.
At 2, yup.
Michigan at 3, and Cincinnati at 4. Again, I feel like Cincinnati should be 2.
Yes.
Michigan can be 3. Michigan can stay at 3. And Alabama should fall to 4 because, and this is the thing why I say Alabama should fall. Because of the simple fact, Auburn had that game won. When I say
they did. Bishop, don't tell me.
Horrible coaching. Horrible coaching. Auburn. Horrible coaching on Auburn's offense.
It's the reason.
There's no way that the Auburn should not have won that game. Auburn had that game won. All they had to do was play to win, not play to lose. And that's what they did. They played to lose that game, allowed Saban, like I was telling somebody the other day, I was explaining to somebody, I think we was talking about it. If you allow Nick Saban to come back into a game, it's a great chance he's going to beat you. It's a great chance.
Hey, I want to touch on this as well. But Auburn, no doubt, lost the goddamn football game.
Absolutely.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, and this is the point. Like I say, even though I did get an upset pick right, Minnesota, they won. So hey, I'm glad about that. But the icing on the cake would have been Bama. Again. Yeah. Why would you go toward? But like the running back was trying to get a first down, but you know you want to go to get it. Why not slide and make them use that final timeout?
Yeah,
exactly.
That way, you still have a third down. You still have a 3rd and 3. But now you get out of bounds. You have a 3rd and 2. Now they know you're going to run the ball, which is the running game have not even worked.
But coach, this is the thing. No, coach, this is the thing about the running thing. The whole thing is what coach allows your starting quarterback who can barely walk stay in the game.
He couldn't walk.
Why he can barely walk? How do you keep him in the game?
He could not move.
All you do is you pull your quarterback, you take your second string. Now, because once they found out he couldn't barely walk, they put 9 in the box.
Yes.
They put 9 in the box.
So I have
this
Alabama.
man was hobbled every time he go to the line of scrimmage. He could not walk. They knew he was going to run the ball on that situation.
There were a couple plays he ran from the gun, right? He called the huddle. He was so messed up that they called the huddle where he was standing when he was going to take the snap from the gun formation, bro. That's how wobble this kid. Usually they put the ball down, then they take a few steps back. So that way when the quarterback says break, he still has to do a little bit of walking. He was so gimpy that they couldn't do it. They had to form the huddle where he was, man.
He couldn't walk. Well, how do you not? I don't care. Listen,
he couldn't even drop back. He couldn't drop back to throw. He couldn't even drop back.
So
I was like, no, it's hey, that's funny. He couldn't even drop back to throw.
This is my thing, right? Even if you don't have faith in your backup, it doesn't matter. Put him out there to stop them for stacking the box. Make them think you can throw the ball. But if you got a quarterback who's hobbling, clearly you seen him throw 2 passes that could have been picked. One was picked. I'm sorry. The second one, you can tell he couldn't step into the throw. So they know you're going to run the ball.
And they knew you was going to run the ball on that 3rd down. They knew you was going to run the ball on that 3rd down. They knew you was getting ready to do it.
And Bishop, this game. If you put in the backup, guess what? They're not going to stack the box. So then you can just run the ball, which is what y'all should have done, because y'all need to kill the what? Bro,
all right, let Nate talk.
They left a minute and 43 seconds on the clock.
Hold on.
Nate,
Doug said something very interesting. Hold on, Doug. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
I said poor Nate. He's been trying to get a word in, and Nate,
yeah. So what I was trying to say is because of this game right here, I don't even have Alabama in my top 4. I have Notre Dame above them.
I can't trust Notre Dame. Notre Dame get the game.
I can't trust Notre Dame. I do believe that Bama shouldn't be in the top 4.
I got Bama. I got to
look. No team that struggles against unranked team in overtime should be in the top 4.
If you're going to take out Alabama, if you're going
you cannot put in Notre Dame.
Oklahoma State
ain't playing no.
I'll put Oklahoma State in before I put Notre Dame.
I'll put Baylor in before Notre Dame. Get out of here.
I'll put
Oklahoma State in though for sure.
Yes, I'll put Oklahoma State before I put Notre Dame.
I don't understand how. The only reason Alabama's in there is because it's Nick Saban's name. I mean, let's be honest. Any other team that loses it was overtime to an unranked team, they would be booted out.
And they've been struggling. They have not been playing good football.
Wait a minute. I got a question. So since we're going based off strength of schedule, Auburn is unranked. Since it doesn't matter if you win or lose, and Alabama couldn't handle them, isn't it fair to just drop them out of the top 10? I'm asking for a friend.
Who, Alabama?
Because look, supposedly wins don't matter.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why not, Prod. I'm gonna tell you why not.
Real quick. Bishop, hear me out real quick. I'm asking for a friend because supposedly records don't matter, right? So it's like you're going based off strength of schedule. Auburn isn't ranked, so they have to be tracked, right? So based on strength of schedule, shouldn't they be out of the top like 15? Like, why are they still ranked? I'm asking for a friend.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because of
Nick Saban's name is still attached to it.
Bishop, I'm trolling.
I know you are, but it's a conference game. Okay. Yeah, I know, but it's a conference game, and as long as the fact that they came back on Auburn to win that game, that's why they're gonna keep him there. They're gonna keep him there. That was just bad coaching on Auburn. Auburn had the opportunity to upset the whole board by beating Alabama. They could have messed that whole board up.
Yep. I think even though they didn't, I think they still put a chink in the armor. So I think they left Alabama leaking. So now, like I seen someone was talking about, I can't remember where I see that, where they's like, go ahead, and now Georgia to finish them off. Now if Alabama for some reason beats Georgia, now we got a whole problem that is going to come about.
Horrible problem.
I don't think that's going to happen.
They might. Do y'all think? I got a question.
You got to. Hold on, coach. You finna make a prediction? You got an upset prediction?
Oh, okay. I know how
Friday. I will make a prediction. Okay. Friday, I will do that. I'll give y'all that. All right. So we can all agree. If Georgia somehow lose, do we still got them in the top 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Georgia or Alabama?
Wait a minute.
I'll put it like this. I'll say
both
like this.
of them are.
Because the way the AP poll,
but if Georgia loses, even if Georgia loses, I still got Georgia at number 1.
Yeah, I still got Georgia in the playoff regardless.
I'll tell you this right now. The only way, because it depends. The only way I have them out of the top 4 is if a top 4 beat them.
Well, that's good, but I tell you what, Georgia has to play Alabama. Georgia has to play Alabama, and when they beat them, they're going to knock them out anyway.
This week. They got Alabama this week. Yeah.
They're going to knock them out anyway if they win that game.
If they lose at Bama, maybe, but even then, I don't think so, because I'm going to keep it a stack with you. If Georgia loses, you're going to see me come out here saying Cincy deserves to be number 1. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
No.
I'm telling you right now, if Georgia, and y'all going to call me crazy, and I'll admit it, I'm crazy. I'll admit it. But if Georgia loses, this is going to be the best case for Cincinnati to say we deserve to be number 1. This is going to be their best case.
So when we get to the segment in which we talk about make predictions, I'm going to let you know why that's not going to happen.
Matter of fact, hold on. Before we get there, Doug, you've been relatively silent, my guy.
I've been on Max Scherzer watch since last night.
Listen, if he goes, listen. Supposedly, him and the Mets are finalizing a multi-year deal. Okay.
So now, I kind of blew up Twitter last night with I've heard 3 years in between the range of 126 and 129 million. The reason why it hasn't gotten done yet is because I think the Mets and Scott Boras are talking about a 4th year. That's been the holdup since last night.
Right, because they want to keep, and they want it. They don't want it. If I'm not mistaken, Doug, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like an option or nothing. Like they want him for that 4th year. Like
the 4th year would end all of that. It would seal it. I mean, they're the most aggressive team right now. So, and with the pending lockout looming, that's why it's like an eBay auction that's ready to end in an hour, and everybody's trying to get things done before the lockout on Wednesday into Thursday. So that's why I've been quiet, because I've been literally following this since last night. But I've been here.
I've been watching it. Look here. I'm gonna say one thing about this, and I'm gonna move on. When you hear the logic, it's not as crazy as I made it out to be. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna have that conversation.
By the way, Pride, it looks like Michael Porter Jr. They think he is done for the season. They think that back surgery is done for the season.
Yeah, every single time I hear out indefinitely, I always think it's safe to assume out for the year. Because
especially in a sport with basketball where you're jumping, you're running,
with your
back surgery.
Yes,
I mean that with the rehab and everything, that's extensive, and it's
I'll be honest. If I'm running a team and you have any type of back injury and you need surgery for it, I'm I'm sitting you out the year
mid-season
regardless.
too. Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't training camp. Like, you know, we got pretty decent amount of games under the belt, so that's kind of
20. I mean, you're already a fourth of the way through the season, so
right.
Yeah, they think it just literally said about 5 minutes ago that Porter's probably done for the year.
Yep. So, oof. So let's move on real quick.
Okay, so I have something to say real quick.
Yes.
The Texas Rangers. Well, actually, Trevor Story has taken his finalist down to 3 teams that he's either going to the Red Sox, the Yankees, or the Texas Rangers.
I love Trevor Story, but I hope we don't get him. And the only reason I'm saying
it doesn't matter who them Yankees get. The Astros still gonna be front runners, so the Yankees can get whoever the goddamn they want to get. That you got to go to the Astros to win the American League. So hey,
but they couldn't even get by us, bro. Let's call it what it is. Us.
Yep. They can't.
They couldn't get to us, and this was technically I don't want to say rebuilding, but a restructuring year, so to speak. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have.
Who you talking about, Pride?
He's talking about the Sox.
Yeah. Yo, everybody knows no matter who the Yankees or Boston get, you got to get through them Astros. You got to get through us.
100%.
Sox. We're talking about.
Thank you, Pride. I like you, Pride. You honest, man.
Nah, you're right. Like it's gonna have to go, especially with Justin Verlander going back to Houston. I mean, you know what I mean?
I can't wait for Verlander to suit up.
I say this.
Wait for Verlander to suit up.
I say this: if Justin Verlander was healthy and he pitched last year, I'm not saying it's a definite thing, but I think
he'd be getting the Scherzer money. If he was healthy this last 2 years, he'd be getting the Scherzer deal.
Oh, not even close.
If Lance McCullers wasn't hurt, and then we had a healthy Verlander, we won a World Series.
I
ran into all they were really lacking was that pitching. The pitching was one thing we were hurting on.
The pitching. I already knew the pitching. I already knew the pitching was.
Let's be honest, though. I mean, there was a lot of issues with the Astros in the World Series. You got Bregman's bat not coming through. I mean, it was hurt.
The Braves bullpen shut everybody down. That's the thing.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to the Braves. I gotta give credit to the Atlanta Braves, man. They were hot.
The Braves bullpen shut everybody down. They shut the hot LA Dodgers. I mean, they shut everybody. If you have a good back of that bullpen,
you're good. Yeah, you got. I had an argument with someone while I was doing the show with Jake. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, the Atlanta Braves don't play in Atlanta." So I really had to prove it. Like, bro, they play in Atlanta, and then their reasoning was, I guess Atlanta was part of one county, and the ballpark was in another county. And then I was like, wait a minute, Atlanta's big, so it's in 2 counties. That's but nah, it was. Some people are just idiots.
Dallas doesn't Dallas play in Arlington?
Dallas plays in Arlington.
Yeah, so the New York Giants play in New Jersey.
Yeah, East Rutherford. No one mentions that.
Does it really matter?
Right. So, Trey, because I'm very curious to see what you got to see here.
What's up?
By the way, if you're still butthurt about that, don't watch baseball anymore. Trey, let me ask you $1 million.
Let it go, Damien. It was so long ago.
We don't keep liking your head off. That's why. That's why we don't keep liking y'all.
And listen, I'm in the minority that's not an Astros fan when I say this. I think regardless if they cheat or not, they're winning. Because they had key guys, and I'm talking about the Dodgers. They had key guys swinging sub 200 in the World Series. Mainly Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger came out and was like, oh yeah, they were cheating. I'm like, all right, fam. Let's talk about your 167. Talk to me. And all of a sudden the conversation to get fun. But Trey, let me ask you a question. Give me your predictions on the top 6 teams. Because you did say that, you had a little something for us. So let me hear it.
So, of course, I think for the CFP, I think that for tomorrow is going to come out. Georgia is going to still be number 1.
Yeah.
You want to say Cincinnati? I know.
I want to say Cincinnati, but we know that's not going to happen. It's going to be unfortunate. They're going to continue to get
disrespected.
Yeah. So Michigan's going to be number 2. Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati will get to number 3. And then I think Alabama's going to drop to number 4 with basically a setup for the Alabama-Georgia game. And then we get Notre Dame at the 5 and Oklahoma State at 6.
All right.
Sounds legit.
Jason.
That sounds legit.
Yeah. Jason, how do you think? What's your top 6? How do you think it's going to look tomorrow?
I actually pulled it up. I still think it's going to be Georgia, Cincinnati, Michigan. I think Ohio State slides up one. It'll be Bama. Even though I feel like Ohio State should be in there, but it'll be Bama, and then, of course followed by Ohio State and whatever else.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Oh, not Ohio State. I apologize. Oklahoma State.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Hey, listen, I'm still my brain. Oklahoma
State. All right. That's not bad. Doug. Do you agree with Trey's or anything from his list?
I agree. I mean, he wanted. I know he wanted to say Cincinnati number 2, but I mean that's. I mean, Michigan's up there. It's not a college football playoff without Alabama. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did they deserve the win against Auburn? No. Bishop made that case, but at the same time, they won. They ugly chick won the game, but they still won the game. I mean, I said it yesterday after the Giants beat the Eagles. I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty, and a win's a win. And I think that probably got him the 4th seed in the playoffs to face Georgia, because when they think about this, I mean, ratings are a huge thing, and they want people to watch these football games. So Georgia, Alabama,
but did they win or did they get help from Auburn? Because let's be honest, Auburn damn near almost all but helped them win that game.
I think Auburn helped them. Auburn helped them.
Yeah, so basically they got the number 4 spot, but they got the number 4 spot with help from Auburn.
Right, but at the end of the
game.
I think what we can all
have to finish.
I mean, Alabama at least finished. A win is a win.
A win's a win, and finishing the game is finishing it. Even if you get help, some teams don't take help. Some teams don't refuse to help and give games back. Alabama took the help, said thank you, go enjoy your loss. We got this, and that's probably what's got them.
But let me ask you this: because
let's not act like it wasn't.
We didn't need your, because they needed the help. Does that really make them deserving of a Final Four spot? Is that really you want your Final Four?
I think they're still a 4 team, the best 4 teams, one of the best 4 teams.
If you look at how everything has went for every other team in the CFP or even in the top, the AP 25, not named Bama, if you lose or if you're a top-ranked team and you even come close to losing, you drop.
You get slaughtered. Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Just say if Cincinnati lose the next game, Cincinnati going to be out. They lose next, they're going to be out.
And they playing the University of Houston. They got Houston this weekend.
I'm gonna tell you,
they lose, they out.
100%. Cincinnati is 1 loss away from being treated like San Diego State and UTSA. They're only 1 loss away from being treated just like that. Once they forget top 10. They'll be blessed if they're still in the top 25.
Like, and that's real because UTSA they lost. UTSA did lose to North Texas. However, and UTSA has fallen completely out of the top 25. But you got 2 teams that Arkansas and Texas A&M that are 8-4, and they're 23-24.
Talk to them.
And they also
is completely out of the top 25.
Something that Jason just said that's interesting about Ohio State. Ohio State might not fall too far. They might get that Alabama bias too.
Maybe.
Well, they're sitting at number 6 right now. Ohio, so it's not like
but they're going. All right, yeah. It's I don't know, man. This is just nonsense. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all because I guess wins and losses don't matter. In terms of my top 6, I think Georgia's gonna be at 1. This is what I think the committee's gonna do. They're gonna put Bama at 2 because they're gonna want the 1 versus 2. That's gonna be kind of their their hype up because doesn't Georgia play Alabama?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it really doesn't matter if Georgia beats Bama. It's a non-conversation.
Number 1 versus number 2. Oh my God. You got to be there. They're going to hype that up.
Well, I think they also got to put enough room so they can drop Bama. When Bama loses, they can drop them.
They'll drop them down to 4. You see what I'm saying?
That's a stable effect.
So they're going to have Georgia at 1. I think they're going to have Alabama at 2. And I think they're going to have Michigan at 3. Even though Jim Harbaugh, that's his first win. People don't want to talk about the fact that he got mollywopped before. But with that first win, they're loving that storyline. They've been pushing that storyline since entering this game. Him getting the win, they're gonna love it. So they're gonna put him at Michigan at 3. Then they're gonna put Cincy at 4. And then I think they're gonna have Notre Dame at 5, and then Oklahoma State at 6. How I would do it, I have Georgia at 1, and I would put Cincinnati at 2. At 3, I would put Michigan. At 4 is Alabama. And then at 5, I put Oklahoma State. And then at 6, Notre Dame. If you don't, you know what I mean? Like, me personally, it's just, and again, it sucks because we're talking from the sport aspect. There is a whole other side. Like,
Oklahoma State.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Why are you putting Alabama in front of Oklahoma State, Pride? Why?
You said why?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's close. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. For me, Oklahoma and Alabama, it's close. Like, and I got Bama at 4 and Oklahoma State at 5. If you want to switch those, I don't care. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I don't care. Personally, I think I like Alabama a little better than Oklahoma State. But if you're telling me you want Bama at 5 and Oklahoma State at 4, I ain't killing no one. I think it's fair. I think those two teams, personally, in my eyes, that's, for me, it's a flippable coin. Yeah, for me, it's a flippable coin.
Yeah. For me, see, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go bold prediction right here. So,
what? Yes,
all right, so I know y'all like when Coach Dante do this. So this is Tuesday. This how the playoff will be. All right. So I want y'all to listen to Coach Dante because I said again, I got 4 right, 4 weeks in a row. Yeah, Alabama didn't get beat, but Minnesota beat unranked Minnesota beat Wisconsin. So I did extend my streak. So then I can't wait till y'all see me Friday when I pick an upset. When I pick an upset Friday, going into the championship league championship things. So I got the key. We all agree. Georgia number 1 by far. Number 2, I'm making a bold prediction. Cincinnati will be number 2 on Tuesday. If they don't, hey, that's fine. But they will be number 2 on Tuesday. Number 3, Michigan. And number 4, Alabama. Number 5, I got Oklahoma State at number 5. And number 6, I got Notre Dame at number 6. That is Coach Dante top 6.
Okay. I like it. I don't know. My personal opinion, I don't know how Michigan jumps to number 2 over Cincinnati. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I
just don't get any respect.
I'm gonna tell you why. It's that storyline. Yeah, I genuinely believe it's the storyline. For me, the whole thing with Michigan finally getting that win,
beating Ohio State,
beating Ohio State, which they needed that desperately because not only were people questioning Jim Harbaugh's job, I was one of the people who's questioning if he loses, does Jim Harbaugh even want to stay? Forget him getting fired. Does he himself even want to stay when your job is to get over Ohio State and you can't do it? He's a guy who understands stuff and he's self-aware, so it's kind of like what I need.
Depends on if an NFL team makes him an offer. That's the only way. I think Harbaugh would only leave.
I don't think Harbaugh goes back in the NFL, Doug.
I think he does.
If he makes it back in,
if the right team gave him an offer, I think Harbaugh would entertain it. But I think it's a money thing, and I think it's whoever would make him an offer. I mean, right now, I mean, the Raiders
we also got to remember
a team with an actual vacancy, but I don't know who
he's going to want to be like the GM. Like Jim Harbaugh is willing to go to like the Bears or
I wouldn't go there.
Jags.
No.
He knows that. No, he would.
He need a team.
Well, if he gave him like $15 million a year.
Yeah, that's what they're going to give him like 15.
If they gave him John Gruden's offer that they had with the Raiders,
that's what
he
I'm
would
saying.
Definitely go.
That's what I'm saying. And no, it doesn't have to be John Gruden's offer. It could be something for like $15 million and say, you know what, we'll let you be the GM. You can Bill Belichick it. Because that's what he wanted with the Niners.
Would do it. Power and money would do it.
Yeah, because he wanted that with the Niners. That's why he originally left, because the Niners were like, yeah, bro, you smoking. So if he can go to a team that like will look at him and say, you know what, we're down bad right now, but we'll pay you and give you the power. We'll give you everything the 49ers didn't want to give you. But
Pride and Doug, don't y'all feel as though his resume at Michigan hurts him for going back into the NFL?
No.
Don't y'all feel like his resume?
I think he'll stay.
Hurts?
I don't think so. No,
he's won. So. I mean, granted, he had trouble beating Ohio State, but it's basically what have you done for me lately? Well, he just beat Ohio State, so the 5 games that he lost previously, that's done. That one And the way they
Yeah.
decisively beat them by shoving the ball down Ohio State's
That's-
throat.
oh, it was
That's what
convincing
everybody's
win.
going to say.
Convincing win.
And a win's a
Yes,
win,
definitely.
and the way he did it, and the most recent one just did it.
And now-
I mean, my gut says Harbaugh stays. I don't think he's
I'm
leaving
thinking
Michigan.
He stays. I'm thinking he stays, but I do think
He stays.
I think there is a chance he would.
Teams will. I think teams will at least try to get him to go there.
Teams will entertain it. They will entertain it. Talks. That definitely what Doug said. They will entertain it.
Yeah. He has to listen. I mean, if some NFL team is willing to offer him $15 million and power of the team, he'll at least listen. But I think Michigan would probably. I think Michigan would counter and probably try to get him to stay because he is the power at Michigan. I think Harbaugh loves Michigan. I think he wants to be there. He wants to be, Nick Saban in Michigan.
Right.
I mean, if he can win a championship at Michigan, that's his bargaining chip. I mean, it's
Oh yeah. Now if he
how
had,
the
if he
season
had Doug, I
finishes-
totally agree with you. If he had a championship under his belt already, I feel like there would be NFL teams looking.
And it
looking
can
at
still happen. I mean, it's likely
Right.
they're going to be in the playoffs. I think this year, getting by Ohio State for him, finally getting that monkey off his back, that opens up a lot of things for him. It's well, you couldn't beat Ohio State. Guess what? We just did. We beat them, and we beat them by 2 scores. This has given Jim Harbaugh a lot of negotiating and a lot of his power back over the NCAA, and if any NFL team calls. So this worked in Jim Harbaugh's favor. With that said, I still think Harbaugh stays at Michigan. There isn't an NFL team that might need a coach that's like who would I leave Michigan for with
The
all
Niners?
the teams that might.
I'll be honest with you.
I
would consider
the way
going
that
back.
he left. The way that he left that organization with the way that they kind of.
I agree with
It seemed
Doug.
like they rubbed each other the wrong way at the end.
I agree with that. Too.
Yeah, they did. They had problems
the
with each
Jaguars,
other.
There was a lot of issues.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues.
It was a lot of personality issues with
was.
the players
It was
and with management.
With management and all of that.
But real quick about that.
It would make
And then
sense on
Bishop-
paper, like him going back to San Francisco, because he was a quarter away from winning a Super Bowl in San Francisco. But I think it's just that's a personality. You would probably have to go a couple years down the road.
But what
for him
about
to
the
go back to San
Jaguars,
Francisco.
Doug? What about the Jaguars? What if he was to go to Jaguars? With a new
I don't
QB?
think.
I think he should.
Hold on,
Michigan's
Bishop.
a better
Let me talk to
deal.
you about that. Let me talk to you about that because I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Going to the Jags for I'm talking about for Jim Harbaugh. It's not that bad of
You
an
got Trevor
idea.
Lawrence.
Well, I mean, they
You got
hired
Trevor
Urban
Lawrence.
Meyer, and I mean,
No, I'm talking, but obviously they gotta fire him. But
he's going to resign.
As
He's
long
going
as-
to go.
He is.
I think he's got a better chance of quitting in Jacksonville. I think he gonna probably resign or something like that.
probably.
Yeah.
Urban
Look,
Meyer
I'm
will
telling you right
resign.
now.
Urban Meyer's going to walk away.
Oh, he's gonna have
He's got to.
He's going to have to.
Got to.
He's gonna
It's
have
ruining.
to.
It's ruining his history. It's ruining all the
He
stuff.
just
he's done.
realized
It's
the
overshadowing him.
NFL. He can't recruit all the best players to the Jaguars.
Hell no.
I mean,
Nobody
at the
wants
end
to
of
go to
the
the
day,
Jets.
wherever
Nah,
he goes,
Players don't want to go to the
Saleh
Jets.
Robert Saleh is actually a decent coach, but you have to put talent around the Jets, and
100%.
there isn't much around the Jets need so much. It's not even funny. Robert Saleh is a decent head coach. Robert Saleh is actually a decent head coach, and I like him.
I
It's
feel
just
the same.
the Jets don't have a lot there.
I feel the same with Dan Campbell, the head coach.
Dan
of the
Campbell,
Lions.
I love Dan
I
Campbell.
I love Dan Campbell.
like the
I
worst
love
organization.
Dan
Yeah,
Campbell.
what is he
Dan
supposed to
Campbell
do?
started.
Detroit's where careers go to die.
Breaking news: Max Scherzer and
Third
the
year.
Mets are finalizing
Three-year,
a $130
$130
million
Hey,
deal.
that's gonna kill the Philly fans. That's gonna kill the Philly fans.
And you know what I love about this deal? You want to know what I love about this deal? Guess what? Now there's not that much pressure on Jacob DeGrom. Now Jacob DeGrom can relax.
That's
and
one-
focus. Like that's
1 and 1A. That's 1 and 1A ace.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's big.
God. I
That's
love that
big.
deal.
That's big.
My
That's huge.
goodness gracious. I'm telling you, man, I love that deal. 110%. I love the deal. And
I had it at 126 million last night because they were talking about $42 million a year. So obviously the Mets offer just a little bit. So it's like 43-ish. It's a good deal for the Mets. The Mets got spurned on 3 different pitchers already. And you know what? The reason why this happened is because Steve Cohen got spurned by Steven Matt's agent, and all of a sudden it's like Steve Cohen, the billionaire, just like went, "You spend all this money and do not come back," and that's what just happened. They just got Max Scherzer.
Nice.
I mean, at the end of the day, I like the deal. I really do because whew. Hold on. He can't just leave Jacksonville. That will make him look more stupid for coming to the NFL. Everyone will look at him. You can't coach at the NFL. I mean, but how many coaches that came up, tried as a professional, couldn't do it, and went back down, and no one bothers him?
Well, look, Nick Saban did it, and he don't look stupid. Now he's like the best coaching in college history. So,
well, Nick Saban was a mediocre NFL head coach.
Oh, of course he was.
Nick Saban's a god in Tuscaloosa. I mean,
absolutely.
No, I get it, but I'm saying that's why Urban Meyer should have no problem doing the same thing, going back.
Urban Meyer,
I agree with Jason.
Urban Meyer,
he has to rebuild.
Urban Meyer got
he has
the
to rebuild his
NFL
legacy.
money. He's got getting lap dances and apparently trying to put your finger in some girl's butthole in Ohio in a bar. Not a good look for Urban Meyer.
And right, but that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
He got caught. He literally got caught trying to do this stuff on camera in his own bar. This is literally what they're not remembering all the championships that he won in Ohio State and LSU. They're remembering that as an NFL coach that he tried to put his finger in some girl's butt in a bar in Ohio. That's Urban Meyer's legacy.
I mean, yeah, but
he should find a college and go
That's
back.
not a bad legacy.
Right, hold on. But as time goes on, people are gonna move on.
Hey, there's one thing.
But he's also a married man.
All right,
well, that's why he used a finger and not the penis.
All right, so let's hold on. Let's move on. Let's move on real quick. I know we gonna go a little longer than usual, but it is what it is. It's all in good fun. In terms of the NBA, because I'm sick and tired of talking about the college football rankings at this point, because we all know they're gonna fuck it up. So it's almost like they're gonna fuck it up, and then the freaking idiotic masses are gonna eat it up because they're stupid, and if you put thumbtacks in front of them, they'll eat it. So, NBA Magic are playing the 76ers. Nuggets, who lost their young forward, Michael Porter Jr., after giving them the donk deal. They play Miami, Thunder at Rockets, Pacers at Timberwolves, Hornets at Bulls, Wizards at Spurs, Cavaliers at Mavs, Trailblazers at Jazz, and the Pelicans will play the Clippers. All right, I'm gonna keep it a stack here. They're all dog shit. Or am I bugging?
No, that's pretty much. The only game that might be good is the Hornets and Bulls.
And if you gotta cling on to that, you're kind of low key screwed. I ain't even gonna hold y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Trailblazers. I'll be honest, bro. The Trailblazers and Jazz on paper sounds nice, but
yeah, but that's it. That's it. The rest of them is just hot garbage.
Yeah, not like Mavs and Cavs, not at all interested.
No.
Wizards and Spurs, not at all. Like, I literally don't care. Like, I was told that this Wizards team was gonna break Golden State's record. I heard 73-9 was never gonna be spoken about again, bro. That was a rumor going around, brother. That was a rumor. I'm out here 74-8. I'm here 82-0. That's what I was hearing.
Bro.
And I'm like, yo. And then talking about, Kyle Kuzma, he's playing great. Shooting a career low.
Great.
Bro, he's shooting worse from the field.
Yeah,
but Trey, you look like you want to say something, my guy.
I mean, you get these games like this, so it's expected. It might take some solace. So I know you were saying the Cavalier Mavericks game isn't that appealing or interesting. Just a couple of weeks ago, the Cavaliers was one of the hot teams in the NBA, so it's a possibility it might get some revival there. Besides that, like Bishop said, the best game or the most interesting game is going to probably be the Hornets and the Bulls, although the Timberwolves have been coming on as well. But for the most part, the Hornets and the Bulls I foresee is going to be the hot game of the night.
Kuzma is played better than Westbrook. Just saying.
Yeah.
Westbrook's been averaging a triple-double almost for the last 5 games. I don't think so.
I love when people say the triple double. I love that. Because I'll be honest. Look, no disrespect to the triple double. It's phenomenal. Don't get it twisted. It's great. He still looks like an oddball in that whole equation. Even with the triple doubles, he still looks like he don't fit. He still looks weird.
He's still trying to figure it out. He's still trying to figure it out. I mean, what Westbrook has got to stop forcing shots from the outside.
Defensively too. This whole team
never gonna stop forcing shots.
So this is what I would say, right? And I'm very sure having a bunch of great players does not make you a great team.
Yes, sir. Talk to him.
That's basically
gel.
Yeah, you exactly. You got the gel.
The Miami Heat had to figure out how to work together, and they eventually figured it out. I think that's what they've been trying to do. The Miami Heat got off that slow back when they did that first super team. Miami got off to this really slow start, and they had to figure out how to put Wade and Bosh and LeBron all together and figure out how. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do. And I mean, Westbrook has never really played with guy with AD and LeBron.
Yeah, he hasn't had that type of. I mean, he hasn't had that since they went to the since he was in OKC when Harden and KD was him. Harden and KD was together. So I mean, and it just continues to be what I continue to say. It has a time to gel. You got a bunch of perennial Hall of Famers that are playing all of the same team. And we, especially for Laker Nation, we've seen this happen before when we had Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Kobe, and Shaq, and end up getting swept. So I mean, you have to wait
5 games, but basically, I mean, you got to the finals. It felt like a sweep. I mean, you got to the finals. It's just Detroit had that lockdown defense, and oof.
But is Frank Vogel the right coach for this super group too? I mean, I'm not really a big believer in Frank Vogel. I know he got the last championship with him, but
he's okay. But I mean, he's not Greg Popovich, and he's an okay coach. He's kind of there to kind of cater the egos and kind of guide them. But I mean, his job's on the line. I mean, I if he's still the coach by mid-season, I'd be surprised.
Buddy Hield.
To answer
Mr. CEO, I think we get where he at.
Buddy Hield's a different player. Buddy Hield is more of an outside shooter.
Here's my point on Russell Westbrook. I would rather have an empty roster slot than Russell Westbrook on this team. And people, when I say that, people get upset. They get angry and they bring up the triple doubles. And I'm like, yeah, it's adorable, but the triple doubles are coming at the cost of the team.
His stats look good, but his team doesn't.
Right, and my thing is not to say that Russ is garbage. He's not garbage.
No, definitely not that.
He's a phenomenal standalone player. But notice the 2 words I said before the word player: standalone. When you put him in a situation where it's just him, yeah, he's gonna go crazy. It's gonna be entertaining, of course. But
he's so used to being that.
Yeah, when you put him in a situation where he needs to win and he needs to sacrifice the triple doubles, either A, doesn't work out like you're seeing now, or B, he gets mad, pouts, and leaves, like what happened in Houston. We gotta stop pretending like Houston never happened.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of his playoff career, that is the best success he's had ever since Kevin Durant left him. And he left because he couldn't get the triple doubles. And that's not just me speculating. He came out and said it. When they asked him, why do you want out? I want the ball in my hands more because, I want to do me.
And West not West's strength.
It's like when a guy says that, now you're bringing him in the situation where it's a big 3. And on top of that, what's even worse about this big 3 is that they all, 2 of them do the same thing. LeBron and Russ are ball dominant. See, that was the beautiful thing about the Miami Heat big 3. You have D Wade, who was the guard, who was able, to just, oh, you need an ISO bucket, I'll do it. Bron, you're the guy. Bosh, you're there to rebound, and we'll run some set plays for you. Same thing in Cleveland. The Boston Celtics, when we had it, Ray Allen was a shooter. When it came to Paul Pierce, he was that bucket dude. And if things wasn't going bad and we need to exploit the paint, boom, we got KG. And then we had Rondo to orchestrate. everyone did something different. The problem here is that they just two of your main important guys do the same thing. And again,
I don't understand why we don't bring Rondo back in to orchestrate like he did, for their first championship with the Lakers.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you have Russ. If you bring Rondo in, it's now gonna mess up. Like a lot of people have been complaining about some of the
But what's the lesser of the two evils though on that?
Yeah, because some people were complaining about the Russell Westbrook or the Frank Vogel lineups. And my thing is, bro, you do what you gotta do, bro. Like you can only do as much as you have, right? And when he puts Russ out, he puts Rondo to orchestrate, yeah. But then again, you still have a guy in Russ who's dog shit at shooting and doesn't understand he's horrible at shooting to the point that he keeps shooting over and over and over and over again.
Until it makes enough to give him a 31 point. But how many buckets did it take to get the 31 points? How many possessions did you lose?
Yeah, and again, like I said, Bishop, I'm not trying to say he's dog shit, but in this system, he's just not fitting right. You can tell he's uncomfortable, and it's bothering him on the defensive side because I don't know what Russ is. I don't know if he's a basketball player or a bullfighter because this dude is going Olay and letting dudes just go right by him every time. And when he does that, I don't know if they're not expecting him to or if this whole team as a whole can't play defense. But when they go by, he doesn't. There's a lot of times he doesn't have help defense. There's a lot of times where he doesn't look bad, and it's almost like he was expecting the help and just never got it.
I agree with you. I just feel like Russ is just not a great fit for the Lakers with LeBron and AD. I just don't think that's the team for him with those two individuals. I feel like when it came to that question, I do feel like Buddy Hield would have been a better fit. I feel like he's a more a person. Buddy Hield's a person that would have been that, I won't say missing link, but have been a role player in helping the Lakers be at a better place than where they are compared to where they are right now.
That's what I was saying. Sometimes it's okay to bench Russell because it's not working with Russell. Put Rondo in there to facilitate what you do have. I think you're better off that way. I wonder, when they were thinking about bringing Westbrook in, surely Bron and AD and Frank Vogel had to have a sit-down conversation with Westbrook and be like, "Hey, look, this is how we're going to run the team. This is what we expect. This is what works for us." Why didn't they? I mean, what were these conversations like? Or they just say, "Hell with it, throw caution to win."
That's what we talked about before, Jason. Yeah, we talked about that before. We was wondering, like, what did LeBron have to say to in regards to bringing Westbrook in, and this is the first, and this is my thing, right? This is the first time LeBron or AD has played with Westbrook, and like everyone has mentioned, a lot of times if things look like they'll be good with a certain player when you play with certain people. But when it's all said and done, if the chemistry don't fit, I don't care how good all three of you are, it just doesn't work. It is not going to work. And I just feel that with Russell there, it's not working for him to be able to be productive enough to help this team be better than what they are right now. They're right at 500. They're 11-11. They should be way better than that with the squad they have. You know what I'm saying? They have a good team. They have good players on the team, should I say. Not necessarily a good team. They have good players on the team. They're just not the right team chemistry put together with that team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, my thing is, this is the conversation I genuinely believe that they had. I swear God, this is what I think the conversation was. Yo, Russ, you're going to have to sacrifice. Yeah, I'll sacrifice, no problem. And we'll sacrifice too. Right, AD? Yeah, bro, we'll sacrifice. Yeah, we'll all sacrifice and we'll all make each other better. We get on the court, and guess what? Oh, wait.
It's not that.
Bron, I can't sacrifice because I'm the most important person on this team, so I can't sacrifice.
I gotta get triple doubles in all categories, regardless of whatever it takes to get there.
AD can't sacrifice because he's our best player. Russ, you going to sacrifice. But I thought we was all going to sacrifice. Yeah, I thought we was all going to sacrifice. We were going
That's not what I do. That's not my game.
Realize that A, we need to do our thing to win, but B, bitch, we want a ring before you got here. I genuinely believe that they low-key got into some argument. Because Russ has to understand, I came in a situation where they got a ring. So I can't
But this is not Russell's fault because Russell has been that guy in the last two teams he's been with. So
yeah, he was created a long time ago.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So he's set in his ways. So and with him being set in his ways, he can't take a back seat because he's been front seat all this time. He can't take that back seat role. And that's why he doesn't fit, because he don't know how to sit in the back and enjoy the ride along with everybody else. While AD and LeBron is in the front seat driving and AD's in the passenger seat.
Right. It took Carmelo a long time to understand that he wasn't the starter anymore. He was going to be the guy coming off the bench, and it took him a long time.
Absolutely,
almost to the point where there was going to be no more basketball.
Right. That's why he wasn't in the league for a while, because he couldn't fathom not being a starter. He couldn't fathom not being a starter. And that's why for 3 years he wasn't in the league, because he couldn't. Nobody wanted him as a starter. They wanted him coming off the bench. And he was like, nah, man, y'all know who I am. I'm Carmelo, the mellow fellow. Right. I'm that dude. Well, no, Carmelo, you're not that dude.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I'm sure he said it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? He said it to somebody. I'm the mellow fellow. I'm that dude. But he's not that dude. And it shows right now with the Lakers, he's killing it coming off the bench. Killing it.
But he was doing that important too.
Yeah, he was doing that absolutely.
And that's what Westbrook. And I know Westbrook don't want to do that because he's not at that stage where Carmelo is. Westbrook doesn't have that many years in like Carmelo. But sometimes you have to accept that role earlier. You have to take on that role and sooner than you would rather take on that role. And that's where I feel like Russell needs to do right now, is take on that role as being a backseater. Not necessarily, I agree with Jason. Sometimes you might need to sit him and let Rondo jump on the court and run and facilitate the floor and see how it comes. And then bring Russ back in later on. Let him, do his thing later on. But he has to take a back seat.
So I think he has to take a back seat, but it's not a bench him back seat. I think he needs to just take, he needs to take a back seat, as in brought here.
Not a bench not a complete bench. I'm talking about a bench like Jason said. In other words, let Rondo, let Russell sit down and
like
let Rondo.
You sit up and let him. Like I mean, it probably would be effective if it was him and Carmelo running the second unit. But but again, I'll be the one that always brings it up on this show. We talk about business, and so that's not a good business practice to have this $1 million this multi. He's like the second, on the bench, and or doing that, even though it might be effective. But I mean, but even then, if he takes a back seat to what he like, okay, you put it in reserve. Like, we know you're Mr. Triple Double now. Put that on reserve. I need you to be a distributor. I need you to break down the defense when it allows and go get it. I don't need 3-pointers from you. I don't need this. This is what we need, and buy into that. Like if Vogel can't go to Sam, then you get your the team leader LeBron, and you have a conversation. Like, all of them need to have a conversation. AD ain't been doing anything really since the championship. So it's like, it's like it all needs to have a conversation. Like, you bring all these people in to be facilitative to fit a role, but our big three isn't being successful either.
Yeah, I mean, because if you get doubles and rebounds and assists, that's great. But if it takes you 1,000 shots to get 10 points, well, then all those rebounds and assists really didn't mean a whole hell of a lot.
His plus minus is horrible.
You just gave it back.
Facts.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we'll figure. Let's see if they'll figure it out. Because again, there's
I like the
question mark, because if they can't make it fit, they're gonna have to figure out a way to move Russ. They're gonna have to figure something out, because look, I've said this. I think by Christmas we'll be able to see whether or not that they'll, we'll have a full legitimate answer whether or not they'll be fine. At this rate, they're not going to, because the way they're playing is still the same exact way. We're 22 games in. They're still playing like it's game one. They're still making the game one mistakes. They got the game one rotations. They got the game one attitude. And me personally, Trey, maybe it's just me, but I see no improvement. I don't see, or at least enough improvement for everyone to be in a comfortable position where they can say, you know what, we could tough it out. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Granted, we'll get the final answer come Christmas, Trey. But as of right now, I don't see enough to be ecstatic and be hopeful and say we're on the right track.
I totally agree with you on that. Too many moves stars.
I just like seeing Freddie look sad. So I hope they don't figure it out. I like to see Freddie even killed and sad all the way around. So I hope by Christmas time they're just the same way.
We'll see what happens.
I think they will be, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. This has been another episode of ASAP in the Morning. It is your boy Pride on behalf of Jason, Trey, and Bishop. As always, we will be here tomorrow morning to talk some shit. If I'm not mistaken, I think the AP, not the AP, I'm sorry, the actual college football rankings come out tomorrow. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see the hardest. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be that one Bama fan when they're two. That one Bama fan is going to say, see, look, we still here. Watch. I guarantee there's going to be that one.
Oh, yeah.
But on behalf of Jason, Trey, and Bishop, it is your boy Pride. We will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.